And we're live. Roll up, everybody. One man went to mow. You know the time, you know the place, and you know the space. You know when we do it, you know where we do it, and you know why we do it. So come join. One man went to mow. You should be here by now. This should be in your schedule already, and this should be something that you do as a matter of routine. Your daily diet, one man went to mow. GARBA, come join. Say hello as you are coming in. Let's get to know each other and pass the hyperlink on to others in your social media feed rather as well. Post the hyperlinks in your social media feed so that we can get even more people coming to engage with us in these conversations. One man went to mow 10:30 every day, any day. That is the schedule, and this is what we do. One man went to mow. A voice was heard in Ramah, or a voice was heard in Nigeria in loud lamentation. Nigeria is weeping for her children. It refuses to be consoled because they are no more. That is the narrative that we're looking to engage with this time around. We're going to the biblical quarters because we need divine intervention. One man went to mow. Kilom benigbo tondu mauru mauru. Tó bá fẹ́ pani jẹ, kó kúkú pani jẹ, bí ò sì pani jẹ, kó má ṣe dún màwúrú màwúrú, màwúrú mọ́ ni mọ́. So all of the idioms in play from the Bible to Yoruba parables, whatever and wherever, the solution has to come forth. One man went to mow, come join, gather. Buhari has been a bad boy, and we are going to discuss that in full and apply the necessary punishment by way of a flogging. So the kobokoin of an elderly Fulani man is what is about to be dispensed on this platform today. One man went to mow. Come join, gather, say hello as you are coming in. Click on the hyperlink if you want to come join live on stream. You know how we do it, you know where we do it, you know when we do it, and you know why we do it, and we're doing it right now. One man went to mow. So come join. We're going to Delta State to speak to the looting, a recording decimal, of course, looting, and ever record a non-story even within the Nigerian space now because looting, so what? But looting recovered money and then relooted again, which is a new dynamic that Nigeria is introducing to corruption. So we're looking into that as MALAMI gives back the looted funds to the people of Delta State, only no doubt to be relooted by the people of Delta State. So now Iswap has chased Boko Haram out of the Sambisa forest. But is that reason for celebration? So we explore that. And then, of course, the incident that happened in Ebonyi today, a new dynamic for that space, something that is a recurring decimal in the northeastern parts, but now a new introduction to the southeastern region. So we discussed that as well. So matters arising and matters as they arise. One man went to mow, you know why we do it. So gather, come join, click on the hyperlink to come join me live on stream as Evolution has done, and then say hello and introduce yourself in the comment section, so that we can get to know each other. And of course, if you want to contact me regarding anything you'd like to inform me of or any ideas regarding the show, then I've started to introduce my Instagram page as well. But don't go to Instagram expecting to see photographs. I'm not some, as you can tell from the shiny head on your screen, I'm not some Instagram photo person, but of course, a means of communication. So one man went to move, gather, come join. So there's sufficient enough of us in here to delve straight into matters. And let us kick off first with that question that is the Islamic Iswap. Let's start it off with that acronym first. Is Iswap taking over Sambisa forest from Boko Haram a cause for celebration, a cause for cheer, or a reason for even deeper worries? So this is the thing that we're going to explore in the opening salvo. But who exactly is Iswap is the first question to go to. The Islamic State in West Africa, Iswap, is a splinter of Boko Haram, is growing in power and influence from its territorial base on the banks and islands of Lake Chad this jihadist group is waging a guerrilla war across northeast Nigeria and elsewhere in the Lakes periphery. By filling in gaps in governance and service delivery, it has cultivated a level of support amongst local civilians that Boko Haram never enjoyed and turned neglected communities in the area and islands in Lake Chad into a source of economic support. If Nigeria and its neighboring Lake Chad states want to sever the bond between Iswap and these communities, and they should, then they cannot stop with countering Iswap in battle. They will need to complement military action by filling the service and governance gaps that Iswap has exploited. So that is just a short introduction to these people. But why are we introducing these people? Well, we go to the headline to get even more detail on the reasons why we need to concern ourselves with these people. Why Nigerians should be bothered that Iswap, not military, killed Boko Haram's Shekau. So this is now speaking to that space now. And already we have learned, by the way, that Iswap is a splinter group of Boko Haram, but then, of course, under the influence of ISIS. So the multiplicity of our terrorism is vested within the northeastern space of Nigeria. Again, the headline, why Nigerians should be bothered that Iswap, not military, killed Boko Haram's Shekau. So now let's now find out exactly the cause for worry. The death of Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau has raised concerns over the unending fight against terrorism in Nigeria. Shekau reportedly died after he was attacked by Iswap militants last Wednesday after his bodyguards were overpowered. In a bid to get him to relinquish power, Shekau detonated a suicide vest he had on, killing himself and the Iswap leadership at the meeting. In a report by SBM Intel, an Africa-based geopolitical research and strategic communications consulting firm, the fact that Shekau's death was caused by Islamic State's West African province poses a grave threat to the Nigerian military. This, according to the report, is as a result of Iswap's better coordination to more financing, better network and affiliation to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. SBL Intel noted that the fact that Iswap took out Shekau rather than the Nigerian military raises the group's status, resulting in more internal squabbles about leadership, which in itself raises the possibility of more splinter factions. The report reads, Shekau's latest death is a turning point in the 12-year insurgency. It is the first in terms of a leadership change in his own faction. And then it goes on to give us the Islamic, the Arabic letterings of that faction with Jumat or something or the other. Since the death of its founder, Mohammed Yusuf, in 2009. So what that opening paragraph, what those opening paragraphs are telling us in essence is that this is the first significant and significant change that has occurred within the Boko Haram structure or within insurgency, even in the northeast, in the northern parts of Nigeria, since effectively the death of Mohammed Yusuf. So Mohammed Yusuf, the founder of Boko Haram, was taken out under the Obasanjo regime then. He was killed off. And then, of course, he was replaced by this Abubakar Shekau. So he then propelled that movement up to the point that it's a terror that strikes at the heart of every Nigerian up till this date. So now his death now changes the paradigm and the dynamic of that organization yet again. But in what direction and to what potency of threat is the mystery that is yet to be unraveled. The only challenge to Shekau's leadership was in 2016, when following his pledge of allegiance to ISIS leader Abubakar Baghdadi, the ISIS leadership appointed Abu Asud something or the other to lead Boko Haram. His refusal to accept the new leadership led to the splitting of Boko Haram into ISIS, the official name of Boko Haram. We do not know yet who will succeed Shekau as the leader of Boko Haram, or even if Boko Haram will continue to exist, considering that the reports of his death also says Iswap has captured Sambisa forest base of their rivals. If that holds, it will likely mean that many of the surviving Boko Haram fighters will be integrated into Iswap, even if not immediately. Both factions have often described each other as renegades, denoting an unwillingness to reach a compromise. This fits into ISIS worldwide, in which there cannot be two caliphates operating side by side. They have indeed taken the step of pronouncing a tafsir on JAS faction. So it just goes on into detail to flesh out why this is a new potency that we're having to contend with, rather, within the Nigerian space. So Boko Haram being replaced by Iswap, what does that portend for the Nigerian state? A question that hangs, and hopefully you guys will have the answer. But before you conclude all your answers to that, consider this. Federal government has recovered 4.2 million pounds Ibori loot to Delta State. So you would have seen Abubakar Malami on telly severally telling us that he was going to pocket the money, but alas, a change of heart, the money has been returned to the people of Delta State. The Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Ahmed Idris, on Tuesday, said the 4.2 million pounds Ibori loot recently. The Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Ahmed Idris, on Tuesday, said the 4.2 million pounds Ibori loot recently received from the United Kingdom government has been given to Delta State. Idris said this when he appeared before the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on Assessment and Status of all recovered loots, movables, and immovable assets from 2002 to 2020. The committee is headed by Adejoro Adeogun. The Accountant General said some recoveries are for specific state governments. He said, I know there was a time recovery was made on behalf of Plateau State. There was one for Bayelsa. There was one for different states, even Delta. Such recoveries go specifically to those states. So the Ibori loot are returned, apparently. Adeogun specifically referred him to the recent Ibori loot received from the United Kingdom. Let's give an example. There is something trending. The recovery of Ibori loot, when would it be paid to the state? Adeogun queried, but Idris responded, it has been paid to the state. It was paid to Delta State. Adeogun pointed out that this was contrary to information in the public domain, that it was used for specific projects. However, Idris responded, any recovery arising from looted funds from a particular state goes to the state. The state governor would not even allow this to fly. They would take the federal government to court for holding their money. So we don't joke and we don't play with that. We pay them their money. So the Ibori loot returned to Delta State to almost certainly be relooted again. So the story of the day, though, which is the goings on in Ebonyi State, let's just pick it from this spot. So you would all have heard, of course, a suicide bomber allegedly attacking Ebonyi State. So this is how that story broke. A suicide bomber on Tuesday blown to pieces when a suicide vest he was wearing exploded on his body. The incident happened in Ifepo town, Ifepo local government area of Ebonyi State. A source in the area said the incident happened around 12 noon. He made an attempt at entering Amazu Primary School, but was turned back by the school security since he could not justify his reason for visiting. He immediately started running inside a nearby bush before a big bang was heard, the source said. The source also said residents scampered for safety when the bomb exploded, but reconvened at the scene of the incident a few minutes after, only to discover the suspected suicide bomber laying dead in a pool of his own blood. The residents who noted that the incident happened close to Eket Market, Efikpo, which is said to be the biggest market in the area, hinted that there is tension and panic in the community. It was gathered that the upper part of the suspected suicide bomber's body was completely destroyed by the impact of the bomb. Commissioner for Internal Security, Stanley Okoro, confirmed the incident, but noted that he was yet to get details of what happened. So that is the opening salvo of that narrative. So now the cover-up, as you almost certainly would expect, begins. So now, what is the attribution now that they are making? Just bear with me, because there's several attributions, but I'm just trying to pick out the one that I want to present. Actually, let me present all the attributions that I have lined up. How grenade accidentally. So now this is now the spin now coming into it, because of course there's a video clip of an on-the-spot person that videoed this thing and put it out on social media, but I cannot play it here for reasons of YouTube, but it's easily found, and the guy was lamenting that it was a house of Fulani man. But now this is the spin now that governance is putting on it, the spin now that governance is putting on it. How grenade accidentally went off in school. Ebonyi government reacts to explosion. So this is the government spin now. The Ebonyi state government has reacted to the alleged bomb explosion in a school in Iswap, North local government area of the state on Tuesday, saying it was a hand grenade that went off. The state government said the explosion claimed the life of a claimed the life of a passerby. There had been reports earlier today that a suspected suicide bomber surfaced in Ebonyi and attempted to bomb the Amaizu primary school in a Fork local government area. Reports had said the bomber attempted to enter the school, but was turned back by the school security guard after failing to justify his reason for visiting. He immediately started running inside a nearby bush before a big bang was heard. Residents immediately, so it goes on to give us that narration that we have already heard. So now let's go to the government's position. In a statement, however, by state government spokesperson Francis Nweze, the special assistant on media and publicity to Governor David Umahi, said the news was in sharp contrast to the reality, as the incident was a grenade of a security personnel carrying out his duty at the said location that accidentally went off. So that is the reason now that they're giving us a grenade carried by a security person carrying out his, what does it say again? Let me just take that again. In a statement, however, because this is pertinent, in a statement, however, by this state government, Francis Nweze, the special assistant on media and publicity to Governor David Umahi, said the news was in sharp contrast. So the news, of course, was the allegation that this person now was trapped with a vest bomb that blew up after he was prevented from entering a primary school. So this is the government position now. So special assistant on media and publicity to Governor David Umahi said the news was in sharp contrast to the reality, as the incident was a grenade. So this is where the story does not really hang together very well, because of course they've hurriedly tried to cobble up together a different narrative to divert the people from what obviously the people have concluded happened. So they are now saying the incident was a grenade of a security personnel carrying out his duties at the said location. So now let's take that as statement in isolation. A grenade being carried by a security personnel carrying out his duties in the vicinity of a primary school. So now what duties would a security personnel be carrying out in the vicinity of a primary school one? So it falls apart already there. And if it doesn't fall apart already there, it falls totally apart when you then say that the security personnel is carrying a grenade. Why would a security personnel be carrying a grenade near to a primary school in a rested, sedate community like Abia State, when it's not a war zone and when it is not a theater of war? Why would a grenade be on the person of a security personnel out in public? So those are the obvious questions to put to that narrative, that feeble narrative that is being put out by the Ebonyi State governance. But it continues. He said, my attention has been drawn to a news making the rounds in some sections of the media that there was an explosion of a suicide bomb in Ifakpo, Ebonyi State this afternoon. The above news is in sharp contrast to the reality, as the incident was a grenade of a security personnel carrying out his duties at the said location that accidentally exploded. A similar incident occurred in front of Ebonyi State Government Old House as some mobile police officers were servicing their APC machine. So this is just the excuse, really. Let me just give you the last paragraph of that. The first incident took the life of a passerby, whilst the second caused injuries on the affected person, who has been taken to hospital where he is currently receiving treatment. The general public is, therefore, charged to disregard fake news as it is the handiwork of enemies of the state who are bent on causing panic where none exist. So it is the fault of people trying to cause panic that security now, according to them, personnel blew up himself at the very heart of a primary school. The police in Ebonyi State have debunked reports that a man who was killed in an explosion on Tuesday in Ifakpo, Ebonyi State, is a suicide bomber. The spokesperson of the police in Ebonyi State, Lovett Oda, said the victim of the blast was a policeman on duty in the area. She said the policeman was a mobile police officer on special deployment to Ifakpo North local government area of Ebonyi State. She said the officer, and this is now where it gets really interesting. So this is now is the name of the person now that lost his life to that incident. She said the officer, Mr. Idi Aminu, so Idi IDI Aminu, you all know how Aminu is spelled. So she said the officer, Mr. Idi Aminu, died as a result of an accidental hand grenade explosion. The incident, which occurred opposite Amazi Primary School, North Ifako, threw the area into panic as passerby scampered for safety. So on and on it goes to that narration, but of course, this is Nigeria. So Evolution, what are you making of that? Because I'm not quite sure how much of that is being bought wholesale. Evolution.
Yeah, basically the news making the headline and of course on social media as to regards what actually transpired. Personally, I do not think it is a suicide bomber because suicide bombers usually have targets, and their targets tend to be government related.
Are you sure? Are you sure? No, the suicide bombers sure. in the northeast, they are usually going to market squares, soft targets, and what could be a softer target than a primary school, and what could be a more emotive target than a primary school.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is that we are in a difficult time in this country, and we have a lot of non-state actors, which is why the state has to really need to regain control of its security and of the narratives. I know that IPOB, they have an incredible machinery of propaganda. They release a lot of things that are not true. For now, I will err on the side of caution. Of course, with time,
Why
we
do you
will
say
know.
that? I mean, if you follow this space long enough, that I don't especially rate IPOB, but then of course the government itself of that space has come out to say that this incident did actually happen, but then they are giving it a different attribution. So
Yeah,
there's no denying that it did happen. It did
no,
happen,
we all
but
know
why
that,
did
yeah,
why
it
did it
did
happen?
happen. Exactly,
Yeah.
it did happen. But what we don't know is whether it is the grenade that exploded or whether it's actually a, a suicide bomber. If truly it
Oh,
is
no,
a
no, but
suicide bomber,
let's explore where you are just then. So let's explore then. Police personnel carrying grenades amongst natives, residents, and civilians in a non-combative area and a restive state in the vicinity of a primary school. What would justify that? Why would a police officer be carrying a grenade amongst members of the public?
because unknown gunmen have been killing the police and the army in the
Yeah, but
east as
a grenade.
directed by their leader. So right now, those people are. It is not out of place for them to now actually arm themselves to protect themselves however way they can. Remember, many of their colleagues have been killed in the last couple of months. So it is not, I would not be surprised if they now, maybe a unit now has some sort of grenade in case if this unknown government comes to attack them, they must defend themselves. So it is actually possible. I am not saying that that is what happened. I'm
And
only
and
saying
and
that,
and the name of the officer, of course, is Idi Aminu.
yeah, I
Is that
mean,
an Igbo name? Is that a Yoruba name?
it is definitely not an Igbo name. And this is equally part of the issue. Why not send your Aminu to Kanu, to police Kanu, and send an Okafo down to Ebonyi, to police Ebonyi? These are the issues. And
So,
these
which
are
of the
the,
two narratives are you buying? Because the eyewitnesses on the streets, they are attributing it to a suicide bombing, and they are attributed because the one thing that we know for certain is the people on the streets, the eyewitnesses, they attributed it as a Hausa Fulani man, and the name being released by the police is a Hausa Fulani name. So that one is not in dispute. It's a northerner that was sorry, yeah, is a northerner that is in question. But then what is in dispute is he a suicide bomber or is it an unfortunate security personnel?
yeah, but we don't have all the information to make that judgment. It just happened today, and information is still coming out there. The Ebonyi state government has released an official information. That is the only thing official that we have now. Meanwhile, I have read three
How much
different
credence are
accounts.
you giving to that? How much credence are you, or do you think the people of Ebonyi would be giving to the pronouncements of David Umahi?
I know that I don't give credence to the information released by IPOB, of which they had already released something. They are now using it to create propaganda. You think so? I would rather err on the side of caution, even if the Ebonyi state government is not, and I really don't see any reason why they should lie. Quite frankly, I mean, if it is truly a suicide bomber, what would they gain by saying that it is not a suicide bomber?
Yeah, because if it's a suicide bomber, if it's established that it is a suicide bomber, then of course the next Fulani Hausa Fulani, that's the resident of Ebonyi State C, then they would administer summary justice. So that might well be a spin on the matter to calm nerves in the space and not lead to an ethnic clash.
Backlash. Yeah,
Yes.
ethnic backlash. Yeah, that
Yeah.
it is equally possible. But really, in my own opinion, I don't.
Which of the narratives sounds more far-fetched to you? Fulani suicide bomber, which they do have antecedents for, or a policeman carrying a grenade in the middle of a crowded civilian area amongst members of the public that are going about their business. Which one is more plausible?
Considering the level of insecurity in the area in terms of the targets, a lot of police posts has been burnt and the police people are being killed on a daily basis. In the southeast now, you don't see police anywhere. They are afraid of their lives. So it is not out of place that they would now carry grenades. That is all I am saying. I mean, it might actually be a suicide bomber since Iswap has now entered.
You know why I'm pushing this? It is quite a journey to accept that narrative. It is quite a journey to say that for security of person, a policeman is carrying a grenade. There's nothing, because a grenade is set to cause mass havoc, and security personnel are not there to cause mass havoc. So that's the one thing. And then a grenade also, before detonation, it has several processes that it has to be gone through, because there are safety catches within a grenade to especially prevent this. So those safety catches have to have been undone in some form. So that is the journey to that space. And then the safety catch has to be undone. And then there has to be then some form of a movement that triggers that explosion. So there's a long journey to believe that narrative. It's a quicker journey and an easier journey to conclude that it was a suicide bomber, because of course the eyewitnesses are saying that this guy tried to access a primary school. He was turned back by the security personnel there. He panicked and ran, and then exploded. So, I mean, which is more fanciful of those two narratives? Which is more plausible? Which is more believable?
Based on the narrative that you just narrated now, primary school, small kids, a suicide bomber trying to eat. Following this narrative, it is not out of place to imagine that it's truly a suicide bomber that could not get access to the final targets. But at the same time, the situation down there and the way the police are being attacked, I am not ruling out that the federal government might have approved some warlike equipment, including grenades and machine guns, for them to be able to protect themselves. It is not out of place. But based on the narrative that you have given, it sounds like
it's just more fanciful. It's more fanciful and seems more of the two narratives. It sounds more far-fetched to imagine that it was a security personnel than to believe that it was a suicide bomber.
It is not far-fetched. Yes. Do you know that?
No, because you have to suspend a lot of disbelief to taking that story and accept it as was. You have to suspend, like I've just narrated. One, you have to accept that narrative that the security personnel in Ebonyi State are now carrying explosives on their person, which you don't really see, because by training and by this oath of their duties, they should not really be carrying that sort of thing amongst members of the public. So that's one. And then you have to also accept that there was a freak explosion. That is then to bypass all of the safety catches of that security thing. That's
but you know that
it's just a long journey. It's a long journey to believe that it was just, yeah.
But you know that the police, they have their special forces units.
Exactly, and this will be somebody that will be trained
force.
as well. Hopefully, they are not just giving explosives to some random guy in union. So it's just too far-fetched for me.
There was something that you just said now. Somebody that was trained. Yeah, the person should, the officer ought to have been trained if the person is truly a police officer. But you know, training and the way we do training in Nigeria, even appointments into those posts, still, I mean, we still don't do it based on capacity and merit. We still look at surnames and we still look at religion. Yeah, but I mean, again, I am open to any of the narratives. I would rather wait for us to get more details before making a conclusion. If it is truly a suicide bomber,
okay,
they will still strike again because they don't just come once. They have an agenda and it will unfold.
But that apparently is the second incident, but I'm not sure if the first incident was this sort of incident. But going from that dark place to an even darker place, the note of caution is being sounded by intelligence research think tanks that the replacement of Boko Haram by Iswap is not cause for celebration and indeed a cause for deeper worry. I never knew that Iswap was a splinter group of Boko Haram, but it looks as though this Iswap, contrary to Boko Haram, they have actually infiltrated the communities in that region, and they have the sympathy and the backing of that of those communities because, of course, the vacuum that the government and governance has left there over time. So what are your thoughts or concerns in that area?
It is a disaster if truly what is happening is that the international ISIS has taken over Boko Haram. But at the same time, it would now force the people that have been profiting from this crisis, it will now force them to end the conflict, to end the occupation. Because all this while, the northern politicians, they've been sponsoring Boko Haram. They've been using them to achieve their aims of enriching themselves. But now, if truly ISIS has entered, ISIS is not going to cooperate with them. ISIS, they have their agenda that is actually different from what our northern politicians are just out there for the money. But ISIS would want to bring their Islamic So at the end of the day, the federal government and the political leaders will be forced to actually confront these people and wipe them off.
Oh, okay. Evolution. In Yoruba land, we have an idiom. Those who know. We say "olegbe olegbale," but then you might get a better understanding of that with the idea that the federal government has returned the 4.2 million pounds Ibori loan to Delta State government. Reasons for cheer for the Deltans, or just another pocket money for the boys in governance?
4.8 million pounds is a lot of money. Now, what I expect, this is really not, I expect the people of Delta State to hold the current government accountable as to how that 4 point something, because it is money that they were not expecting. So I expect their House of Reps to hold the state.
You don't think it's just going to be relooted? You don't remember what happened to the Abacha money that was sent back, and they told us that they were giving it as palliatives to the poor and needy, handing out cash, and that was the disappearance of $600 million then. So is it not just going to go the same way, just relooted, as is always the case within the Nigerian space?
I think this money is too hot. I think that the international community would at least, I expect that they will at least want to monitor the disbursement of these funds and what the government ends up spending it on. So I don't think that they would be foolish enough to loot this particular fund, because I'm sure a lot of people will be on the lookout. Okay, Ibori's money. What have you used it for? If I were the state governor, I would I would actually avoid controversy or crisis by allocating the money for the people to actually do its job. The Delta State government is one of the governments that are complaining that they don't have money. So now they now have 4.8 million pounds. It's for them to, I mean, but of course, this is nine.
You see what I have always felt about those sort of return funds is for them to use it for a specific project that will stand time immemorial as what that money was used for. So maybe build a bridge, build a road, build a school, build a mini hospital, or build something that people can point to. But if they use it to, they're just going to re-loot it, by my reckoning. But thank you, Evolution. Let's just take other voices. James, we see you. James? Okay.
Good evening.
Hello, James. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, sir. So I don't really know which one you want me to talk about, you know. So
you can pick anyone, but really the hot burning topic is what is going on in Ebonyi State at the moment. The Evolution is wanting to give the government the benefit of doubt, but I am not sure. But what do you think?
Yeah, for what concerning that very particular news, I'm so worried. But I think I have a lot of doubt that it will be very difficult to convince the people which I, assume within me that are responsible for those activities of the so-called unknown men to convince anybody to do that at this very particular time. You know, most of the time the governors, they complain that when they look at the faces of the guys that are big kids, they describe it as their own. And most of the police officers they are attacking, they are also their own. So they are really, that's what they said. So I must say that for what I strongly
James, in many ways, does it really matter what the government says or not? The people
like this we need to.
It doesn't really matter what they say. The people of Ebonyi State, they already consider that they are in conflict with the House of Fulanis, and then they are hearing that some Idi Adamu was exploded near some school. They don't really want to hear anything after that, or do they?
Yeah, the thing is this. I strongly believe that thing is an accident. So let's just take it like that, because I consider it as an accident, because they try to explain it, and the way they explain it, just the way Evolution, talk about it. Maybe special unit, because most of these are training. If you analyze them very well, you will understand that they are all primitive training. There's no training there. So so for me, I think they can easily make mistakes.
But the idea of security personnel carrying explosives amongst the members of the public.
The problem is that we don't understand the scale of problem that is taking place in Nigeria. Today, I told you there's a riot in Niger State, former Babangida State. They blocked the road. It was a massive one. Yeah, yesterday it was Kaduna, Lagos. Yeah, that thing, it has started. Today they killed a lot of people. I think in Benue, Plateau State, Nassar, everywhere is being attacked. The truth of the matter is that these guys have created a monster, and that monster have given birth to so many groups that they cannot control. That is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my question. Do you think they can now still control this monster, or is this monster going to consume them and everybody else?
Just look at the nature of things they have created. Have you ever seen a place where somebody have been able to control themselves? You are like them. And the only possible way they can control these people, that is just the way our government is behaving. You understand me? So it's like you are with them. Because if you look at it very well, every possible suggestion to try to calm this thing down is being allowed by the president himself. People say that, okay, open grazing. Let us get a rancher for these people. They are ready to give out their money, even state governors. Okay, so that these people will have a particular place where they do this thing, we control them. They will come out and tell you no.
Because with Buhari now pushing back this open grazing, the ban on it, the next big incident that happens in Yoruba land or Igbo land that is done by a Fulani headsman or a Fulani headsman, then he would have to account for that surely, because the people are saying they want to take measures to protect themselves. You say no, and you cannot protect them. So what are you saying? Are they lambs to slaughter?
My brother, there is nothing like accountability when it comes to colonial countries, like British colony country. You understand me? French speaking country are even better than us. If you travel to them, you will see a lot of foundation to build upon. If you go to English country, we go up little, we go down more than 10 times of our achievement. So there is something like accountability. Let's just rule that one out. What is actually happening is that their strategy was to start the conquest from one direction. And we need to be very, very calculative. What are these people really doing? They are in a mission, and they are in a mission with a view of reward from God. We have to be sincere. There's something that motivates them. And if we are ignorant of this thing, we may not be able to put ourselves in proper place to defend ourselves, because they just want to start it from somewhere. Like this, what this South is, or what is happening in South is, it's like everybody cannot buy that kind of idea, because so automatically they are looking for way, if not for this international community, just to fight these people, kill as many people, and use the name of security to occupy that region. And from there, they move gradually to another place. And this is their strategy. So we need to buckle up. They mean business. However, we are so divided. And
talking about accountability, yes, I was just saying, talking about accountability, the 4.2 million pounds Ibori fund has been returned to a Niger State government. So what does that mean to the Niger State people, James?
Delta State, you are saying? Delta State. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, Delta State. When it comes to accountability, we've lost what is called accountability very long time ago. Look at where in diaspora.
We're speaking to the Ibori case. I was saying,
yeah, it depends on the choice of the governor. There's nothing like accountability. It just depends on the choice of governor. If he like, he can use it for his own stew and Maggi and curry. If he like, he can just decide to say, okay, let me use it for something good. So as far as Nigeria is concerned, there is no procedure on how to spend money.
What do you suspect will happen to that money? Will it be re-looted or used for the common good?
For me, I think our people don't care. The situation of corruption in our country is so high to a point, like with this current administration, there is nothing like asking somebody except you oppose them. However, this guy is a little bit, standing in a way to defend his people, so he have to be careful so that they don't use it as a bait or a trap for him. But however, you can't trust our people, because we live in a country. Naturally, we are humans. We are tempted to that taste of, let me just take something and quickly make use of it. Where we are, if you compare ourselves, like this diaspora where we are live, the Western world where we live, the way they start with us is social security number and identification number. It's just because they want to create a system that will be able to help people, that will be able to help people to account to the government, and the government is to account to the entire citizen. So, but our home, we have lost it. How can you run a government where the ministries are dead? No institutions to support the governor. Everything belongs to the governor. So it's left for the governor. Maybe if he chooses, he uses it well. If he doesn't choose, he can do it as a Nigerian. We are not used to it. It's normal thing to us.
All right. Thank you, James. Let me shuffle you just to bring in other voices and evolution as well. Freeman, we see you. Freeman. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm here.
Yeah. Good. So to what is happening in Ebonyi State and Iswap replacing Boko Haram in Sambisa Forest, and the Ebonyi, the Delta State people getting their £4 million back. So take your pick, Freeman.
Yeah, I first of all, I will start from Ebonyi. What happened in Ebonyi? We Nigerians, they are fond of one thing, and that thing is this: when something happened or when they saw something happened, they will just and so it be. Just like what these guys are saying. The eyewitness saw what happened. How can you tell me that a security personnel is going with a hand grenade? Do you know what is hand grenade? What is he doing with hand grenade? Even though he's a security personnel, look, converted Boko Harams were put into security personnel. They were recruited to police. They were recruited to army for a mission. That is not hand grenade. That is suicide mission. The guy came for suicide mission. But look, something here today. I said, animal will no get tail. Now God they pursue fly for ram. You understand me? This guy, he came for a mission. This is a suicide bomb. He wants to blow himself and other people. But thank God, it does not work. Look, the hand that they used to prepare poison, they will still use that hand to put in their mouth. Thank God, it's only him dead. Then, why will Ebonyi, Ebonyi governor Dave Umahi, his Janjaweed servant, he is their master. He will do everything to please them, to protect them,
But
to let them know
Freeman,
that yes,
Freeman,
I'm coming.
hold on. You can't really say that because the governor has to do everything that he can to prevent the space going into chaos. And if he allows that story to go out that it is the Fulani headsman trying to attack or some terror person trying to attack a school, then of course the people of Ebonyi will go after every Hausa Fulani man that they see. So he has to try and prevent the state falling into anarchy. Surely that is his job.
Then he's lying. He is lying to his people. He is not there when the thing happened. I still have the video here. The eyewitness said what happened. People are there. People saw what happened and how it happened. So those people are the people that we're going to listen, not that governor. He's a liar. He is trying to change the narrative, but the news has gone viral. Everybody saw what happened. Tomorrow, another one is going to happen too. You understand me? So
how do you know this? Are you sure it's not even IPOP behind this thing? Is it IPOP?
Call that name again. What did you call the name of the guy? Do you know what is IPOP? Number one.
Idi Aminu, Adamo or something.
Thank you. Do you know Do you know the full meaning? Do you know the full meaning of IPOP?
Well, just carry on. No, carry on. To the narrative of Iswap replacing Boko Haram in Sambisa forest, people are saying it's cause for even more worry. What is your assessment?
Yes, I know you will not like what I will say, but I will say it. Long ago, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said this. He said it. Look, let me tell you something. The dead Buhari, he is the one formed Boko Haram. Do you understand me? But when everything went the way it's supposed to went, he called Shekau because they were killing the Nigerian militaries. He asked him to stop, and the guy said no. Then
how do you know this? How do you know this? No, how do you know this? How do you know this?
Yeah. Okay, let me tell you. If you go back to Nnamdi Kanu speech before this thing happened.
Okay.
He has said it a long ago. I know you will not believe me, but listen, what is happening is this. Let me tell you something. The ISIS taking over Boko Haram, or Boko Haram taking over ISIS, they are still the same. That is not our problem. Our problem
what
is
the question is it reason for more worry? Should we be more worried that Iswap has taken over from Boko Haram?
Yes, people has to be more worried, but the indigenous people of Biafra, we are ready. Even look, even the Nigerians, they don't know that ESN will come. We take them on our way.
Okay,
because of this thing. Yes. You want to say something?
No, I don't want us to go too far down that Biafra journey, because, you know, this is not even about Biafra, the story.
Yes. Do you know why I'm saying this? Do you know why I'm saying this? Even though the ISIS are coming down, you know, we are already prepared. Yes, the Biafrans are already prepared. So whether you like it or whether they like it or not, we are already prepared. The way we prepared for Mieti Anlas, the way we drive them away, that's how they will kill us. We will kill them, but at last,
okay,
I believe we will win.
Okay, thank you, Freeman. Let's hear from Sip. So Sip, what says you?
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Freeman, let me shuffle you for to hear a different voice. Yeah, so carry on, Sip.
Yeah, for the Ebonyi State issue, man, it's a sad one, but the truth, from my own perspective, I can't lie, man. Number one, police people are not allowed to carry grenade, hand grenade. A hand grenade is a very serious explosive. If they throw a hand grenade, it's going to cause a massive damage. So I don't see a reason why police, even on the street, police people don't carry grenade.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? The idea that a policeman is walking around with a grenade amongst, I mean, when it's not a war zone.
Exactly. And we already know that governor is an APC man. So we understand why he came out to say this. So it doesn't make sense.
But see, he has to say something to cover it up, don't you think?
That's why I understand what he's saying. Yes, maybe he doesn't want chaos or people to start going out and lynching and Fulani. But the fact is this, man. See the person's name. You can tell the place where the person is from, and for the fact that he approached the school from the eyewitness, because you have to also consider the eyewitness people, what they say. He tried to approach the school, and they didn't allow him. All of a sudden, he's running. What prompted him to run? For that explosive to come out. So if you look at the case, it doesn't make sense. And for that to happen, definitely people and the citizens need to be aware. That's my anger with the governor, because they're trying to calm people down. This thing is going to happen again. It has the probability of occurring again.
Well, so what is the contrary? Should it tell people to go on the streets and weigh against every Fulani man that they say?
If I were him, I would tell him that. Well, I would say that people should be more cautious of the environment and watch suspected people so that they can report to the security agency. That's the thing you should say, so that people will be like, okay, they will not just go out and start finding Fulani people. They'll just be cautious wherever they go and be looking out so that they will see.
But the story is already out that it was a northern bomber.
Exactly.
So would they not say something? Should they not say something to counter that?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the fact is this, man. People, whatever the governor has said is by the way, and also the governor has come out to say he's a police official, and that is not putting a problem for police people, because right now in the East, it's not good. It's not good for police people. They kill them anyhow, police and military, just because first of all they have this speculation that the police people are being sent by the government to kill and capture innocent people. So now some unknown gunmen go out. When they approach civil defense, but as far as you're a paramilitary person working with the government, they will come after you and they will kill you, headshots and all that. So police people are actually afraid to come out. So that's now on the governor's part is bad, because he has shifted the blame to police. Now, innocent all these some gunmen now will now come to those areas and start looking for police people to come and it's just a chaos.
But the police spokesperson for the state has taken ownership of it as well.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel they should have just been straight and come out truthful with the information. Because that now is now going to cause problem for the police people there. Because now more police officials will be killed. Especially now we know that this police is being run by the federal government. They will now send those people from the north to those places, and they will now start killing majority of those kind of people. It's not good. So that's why I feel some of these things, they even need to have special forces that deal with this instance, because the Nigerian police are not well trained. They don't have skills to handle such issues.
Okay, so talking about well trained, they are telling us that Iswap has now replaced Boko Haram in the Sambisa forest. What are you making of that?
I just feel the reason why Iswap came into there just to do the things that Boko Haram could not do, which is advance their terror down to the south. That is the aim. That's the truth. They are in that Sambisa forest, obviously preparing, doing trainings, and finding a way how they can infiltrate the south, because that's the problem. They want to come to the south.
Does Nigeria have the capacity to contend with these people? Because these are seasoned fighters coming in from all these Middle Eastern spaces that they've been wreaking havoc, and Nigeria, a completely unsophisticated country, a sitting duck.
Okay, now look, there's one thing the late Sonny Abacha said. He said, if this terrorism happen in a country for more than 24 hours, just know that the government is involved. This thing is just plain. And what is happening in Boko Haram and what is happening in Iswap, the fact is this: the government have a part to play in it. I don't know who is involved in it, but the fact is this: the military obviously have the capacity to handle them, but the military has been infiltrated. Because how can you reintegrate Boko Haram repentance into the society, put them in the police, put them in the military?
Sorry, Saib, just to add on to what you said, an aide to a northern governor, when this Shekau was taken down, it was quoted as being saying that a hero has died, to the point that his that he had to be sacked. So a lot of sympathy for that sort of thing in the north.
Exactly, because first of all, Buhari has also made a statement in the past that a fight against Boko Haram is a fight against the north. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. So where all these things coming out from? If your sitting president can say that, like, okay, now you're indirectly saying that the north supports Boko Haram. It's not fair. And they try to compare the militancy to what the Boko Haram people are doing. It's two different things, you understand? But it's not that I'm justifying any of the two parties. But what I'm telling you, the government is being complicit in this issue because they are not aiding it. They have found a way to handle it. Why didn't they integrate the Niger Delta militants that they into the security agency? They didn't. Instead, they created a scheme for them to go outside school, do some other things, they return their arms. But the Boko Haram repentance, they integrated them into the military. That is wrong. Who told you that? Who told them that those people will come there and
it's a real concern, you know, a non-terrorist then being given the facilities of a wealthy state. That's just
exactly.
It's almost beyond comprehension. But aside to that space in Delta State, where they are now getting this largesse of £4 million, the returned Ebonyi loot. What do you think will happen to that money?
That money is just going to sink inside the person who is the governor right now. Because
that's just for his weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, that money is either going to go. Some part of it might just go back to Ibori because the people in Delta State still protect him because the government came for him. They refused to give him up, and that one is a fact. So it's either they'll give some part of the money to him, then the governor takes the money, or they will use it as a bait for him, maybe in case he messes up. If it's an APC, if it's a PDP person, if he's trying to go for election, or maybe he finished his term, if he's doing 2 terms or he's done with it, they'll use it as a fraud case. They'll come out against him because, you know, the APC government, if they stay in the next 4 years after this term, it's going to be chaos. Because looking at it, man, that money is not going to, they will not use that money to do anything useful to the people of the Delta people. Because I expect those governors to create avenues, a little form of industries where young people can come out and see opportunity to, you know, make something useful to themselves with all this money. It doesn't make sense, even with the revenue, man. Where all this money going to? That's why, even if people come out and say, yo, you're agitating to have your own country and all that, Biafra video, I'm just saying, look at what the governors have done in their different states. How useful have they used that money to make avenues for people to see a means of living? Create industry. I'm not saying dash money. Create opportunities for people to find a way of creating a living for themselves, so they make money and forget about majority of the stress in the country.
All right, thank you, Sai. Yeah. All right, thank you, Sai. Let's hear from Son of Adam. Sai, let me shuffle you just so I know I've got everybody. So Son of Adam, what says you to the narrative? Son of Adam.
Hi, how everybody they do? I don't know
how are you?
Whether or not the network. I did all right. The network did somehow. I don't know whether or not.
Yeah, we hear you now. So if you say they hear us, then everything is okay.
Okay. Now they talk about two issues, like they hear bomb, grenade, and something, and something.
Yeah. You hear what happened for Ebonyi State?
No really hear, but I hear when they talk, say police carry. I really want me you explain for me. I hear say police carry bomb or something.
The explosion for Ebonyi State, and the eyewitnesses are saying that it was a suicide attempt. It was a bomber attempt, but then the state government has now come out to say that it was a police personnel carrying a grenade and then had a mishap. So we're querying the veracity of the two narratives, because the eyewitnesses were saying that the person was wearing the bomb as a vest and was trying to access a primary school, but the state government is coming to tell us a different narrative. So we're just reflecting on that.
Okay, I go believe more with the eyewitnesses, although that's the figure rumor, because nothing really where the government fee, really tell us they never tell us before. So anything where the government talk, now always to favor them. They not ever come outside and talk waiting go really favor the people. So I believe the people who they then go know who really be the culprit of the thing will happen. And sometimes, see, we Nigerians, we get one mentality, or we say, if they say now somebody do something, now ain't everybody will see, even though nobody the person do it. If they say now Fulani. If you know be Fulani, if you even be the police self, we go carry the grenade, saying we take do protection in case anything happens. Nigerian police themselves get everybody they think. So I believe more on the side of the eyewitness, saying I then go really know what thing happen. I don't really believe the government.
All right, thank you, Son of Adam. Let's hear from Martins. Martins, we see you. Martins. Okay, let's hear from another one man. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here with you, another man.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so carry on. Are you following the narrative, and what are you making of it?
Yeah, I'll be following the narrative, actually. I think I should start from the suicide bomber.
Okay.
Yeah, because I actually was going through a platform. So the guy actually brought a link of the guy himself, the bomber himself. Hello?
Yes, no, you are here. I saw that too, but I couldn't add it to this video because it's too graphic, and YouTube
yes,
it's too graphic. Yeah.
So why I made reference to that, that photograph. Actually, thank God you saw it. There was no sign of a policeman there.
I even saw a clip, not even a photo, a clip. Somebody had their phone and they were recording it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So you see that I'll add that to part of what I'm saying. You see, in Nigeria today, we are all, I would say, 70% informed these days, because with your phone, you can gather informations, you can send informations, and the government that are coming to say whatever they are saying, they are not always when the thing is happening. They all, Nigeria is very funny. You understand me? If you look at that guy, the bomber, the thing affected him from the top of the stomach and below the neck.
The half of the body was, the middle section of the body was completely gone, which goes with the narrative that he was wearing a vest.
I cannot see the sign of vest. I thank God you have the photograph. What I saw there is just a t-shirt, you know, with the destroyed part of his body, you know. And the area I want people, you know, when you say grenade, most times you hold grenade with your hand, or maybe you are tying it by the side of your belt or something. So if it was maybe something like that, I think it should have affected him from this area, from the stomach area. You understand? So this one was above the stomach and below the neck. That's that chest area, you know. And that's about that. So one thing about the governor, Umahi, there's also one he did in the police station, one report he gave in the police station, that the people, the unknown gunmen that came to destroy the police station, and that the policemen were able to repel them, you know. But in fact, these people, their lives is getting too much. The police station he's talking about was fully destroyed and pumped down. And the unknown gunmen left that place before they went to the INEC office. But he came and was saying that the gunshot that the people in the environment were hearing during that event was the gunshot from the police and not from the unknown gunmen. You see, if these people continue to lie and lie and lie, we will never get to the bottom of this problem.
You know, sometimes I agree that they shouldn't lie, but sometimes they have to come up with a counter narrative just to keep the people, to calm people down. Because if they don't come up with a counter narrative for what happened in Ebonyi State, then of course chaos.
Yes, I agree with you. When you talk about a counter narrative, it is necessary at a point. But at the time you are giving that counter narrative, you should also be able to also give a counter. How do I put that word now? A kind of a counter reaction to match that your narrative. As like, you know, you have to like try to create provisions for the people that will match their request. I don't know if you are getting, if you are trying to get
I'm getting you, but then of course they have to come up with this story about the policeman first, just to give the people something else to look at. Yeah.
Let me tell you how our governors or our leaders are making things difficult for us. Let us use NSAS, for example. The people came out and agitated for NSAS, that they want change. First of all, they said that the police should be reformed. The barracks and everything, their uniform, their guns, their modus of operations and so on should be taken care of. You understand me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You understand me? Okay.
Yes.
During the agitation, which we all know, the agitation lasted for about 2 to 3 weeks. You understand? Only for the government to come out and appeal to the people. Okay, we've now heard about your agitation. You can all go home. Let us take care of the situation. The agitation today is more than 6 months old, and the government have not done anything. So what am I trying to point out from that place is these lies they always tell. When you tell lies, you should be able to do something that will complement your lies. You don't just tell people lies to go home and sit down. And you think your own life is more important because you have security men that are protecting you. The people on the street also need the security too. So if somebody comes to an awareness that there's a suicide bomber, or maybe the Fulanis are now trying to do the things they did when they started the Boko Haram event in the north, because they started by bombing Lozorios in the motor parks and different sensitive area where people are gathering. So if they want to implement that kind of system in the southern part of the area, and without the government telling us the truth on how we can protect and prevent ourselves from such danger, there is a problem. You understand? We must let you. We must know the
okay.
that
The thing is, I think I'm not sure who said it. Maybe it was James or whoever, but somebody said that if this was a suicide person, then of course it's not going to be a one-off incident. So only the future will let us know what is really happening in that space.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. With the way things are now, this is new and strange in the South. You understand now? We'll be hearing bombing. Maybe they plant bombs somewhere, maybe close to a church, close to a school, and so on. We'll be hearing those things, which is different. But this one is now suicide bomb. Somebody carrying a bomb and ready to kill himself and kill other people. Okay, now I think everybody's eyes should be on target now, and we never expect such things to repeat itself. Because if such things repeat itself, definitely it's going to lead to something else. It's going to lead to something tribal this time, because nobody wants to see the Fulanis around them, because that would be too dangerous. You understand me? So if the governors are lying, so they should also try to also consult with their Fulani leaders or their followers to also let them know that the lengths they are going this time, if they have any agreement, I don't know their kind of agreement, why they have to always watch these people oppress us, and they want us to also bow to the oppression. So they should be able to advise their Fulani leaders about what is going on. That the way your boys are going now, I don't think we'll be able to contain it.
Yes. The one thing is certain that if this does happen again, not just in Ebonyi or anywhere else in the southeast, I don't think anybody will be hearing any stories anymore from any governors. But thank you, another one man. Sparks.
Also for the case of Ebori.
Oh yeah. Sorry, carry on. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, for the case of Ebori, you see, it's just the same lies, you know, or the same story, you know, just the same ball round, the same the same circle. We just keep going around. So we are talking about the money stolen by Ebori. What happened to the money stolen by Abacha, which is even much more than the one Ebori stole? Was it not how do they say it? Restolen,
relooted, yes, relooted.
Yeah, it was restolen. So definitely nothing is going to happen. We are still going to continue to hear stories. Even before they will give the money to Delta State, the federal government must have taken some percentage from that money. It's not going to be a complete money anymore. We should know that too. So what do you expect? If, for example, they collected 100 million, for example, and they are giving maybe 40 million to the Delta State governor, and we are talking on news that the Delta State government is receiving 100 million, whereas it's receiving a 40 million. So who is going to defend who? You understand?
It's a never-ending cycle within the Nigerian space.
Nigeria is a big brother.
But to that Iswap Boko Haram narrative, what are you making of it?
Yes, so that Iswap Boko Haram narrative, from what I've been following, from the, I think there's a link to the death of the chief of the chief of army. I don't even know the chief of army staff now. Is it Buhari? He was not supposed to kill Shekau or whatever. You know, that's some news. I'm getting some of those news from some papers and so on. Okay, let me still take it this way. It is the Fulani style of operation. You understand me? Now the game is actually changing. They have seen that the Southerners have woken up. You understand? And you know the Fulanis always come with this threat. And in their threat carries a kind of first information. Because they'll first of all flash it to you. The next you start to see them doing it. So I think this is a flash, and so we should be prepared. You understand me? We should really be prepared for them. And the only way we can start to do that, I think, it's like what is happening now in the southern part of Nigeria, like in the southeast. You know, nobody actually supports the bombing of police stations and the bombing of security.
You say, I'm not quite sure that move should be applauded, because if you create a security vacuum in the southeast, then who will fill it? What will happen next?
Yes,
is it vigilante that you'll be using now in Igbo land?
The people that are destroying the police stations, they have their reasons. You understand? Like
but then what happens to the policing of the space once the police have been chased out?
Yeah, not by this time, man. We shouldn't be looking at the institution. We should be looking at the action on ground. During the days when the police were fully in operations, where crime high in the society.
No. To that question. Hold on.
Just let me say.
We already know where you're going, but go to where we are asking you to go. What happens when the police have been chased out of that space? What happens to the security of the space when all the police stations have been blown up and the policemen are shot or chased out? Then what happens to policing in Igbo land?
What is going to happen to them will be the best thing that is happening now, because that's what you didn't allow me to explain just now. Definitely, we are all human beings. What we want is the best. We don't want name. We don't start calling names while we are suffering. What we want now as Nigerians is the best that will make us survive. Forget names. We don't need names now.
What will happen to the policing of Igbo land? Yeah. Well, I mean, yes. That's the question. What will happen to the... Yeah, so say it, man.
Allow me to explain. If the unknown government are burning police stations, which I condemned the first time, that it is not a good idea. Okay, but they have their reasons for doing it. And this area they are doing these things, they have people that are living in that area, which they know their own condition. They know the kind of things the kind of food they are living. For example, let us start from...
What will happen to policing in Igbo land?
You cannot listen to me. Let me break it down for you.
No, don't break anything down. Just go to the question now.
Yeah, I will answer your question, but I have to explain the question. That's why you understand the point, because it's not just one thing.
We know that the people are suffering. We know that the police are corrupt. We know that there's police brutalization, etc. So we know all of that.
Excuse me. This is where we have problem. This is the problem with Nigerians. We know the problem. When it gets to the point of solving the problem, we start to dodge it. Excuse me.
I'm not dodging anything, but I asked you a question.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you.
Don't parabolate.
I'm not saying you dodging it. No, I'm not saying you dodging it. What I mean is that...
Okay, sorry. Hold on. Another one, man. What will happen to policing in Igbo land once the police structures, once the security structures have been blown up and the police officers shot and chased out? What will happen to law and order in Igbo land?
There's nothing that is going to happen to law and order if the reasons why the police stations have been blown up is more.
Who will maintain law and order? Who will maintain law and order?
That is you. But you just asked me simple question. You didn't allow me to explain. How do you maintain law and order? If things goes wrong and the police are there to match themselves with the crime, that is how you maintain laws. But in a situation where crimes are happening and the police are backing the people that are committing the crimes, and you expect law and order, how do you mean? You understand me? It's like that's why I told you just that when we get to the point of saying the truth, we are kind of trying to jump it.
Hold on. Because I'm not sure if you are not understanding my question. The police formations and stations and officers are being chased out of the southeast. We all know that. Every day you hear that a police station has been blown up, police officers are running away from the space. So if they blow up all the security infrastructures and chase out all the policemen, what will happen to maintaining law and order within the southeast, within Igbo land? I mean, I've been asking this question for 10 minutes.
No, you are not listening to me now. Listen. Okay. What the first thing we are going to ask ourselves is this: since they started blowing police stations, wait now, you listen to somebody, my friend.
All right.
Since they started blowing police stations, are we still having the case of raping in the east? Which is no. Listen, number one, since they started blowing police stations, have Fulanis stop killing people in the farms? Which is true, yes. So if the reason why they are blowing the police station is going to favor the people of the east, then they should blow up the police station and reorganize themselves. You cannot stop them from protecting themselves.
What will happen to the vacuum that is created?
Nothing is going to happen. Is it not the same Imo State? And
so who will maintain law and order? Who will maintain law and order? Who will police the streets? Who will crimes be reported to?
For me, maybe I'm not answering it that way. I'm answering the question from what I'm seeing on ground. I'm not answering the question because I want to answer question. What I'm seeing on ground.
So you don't know who will fill the vacuum.
Why? I ask you a simple question. You have not answered it. Since they started running police station, how many cases of rapes have you heard from the east?
I'm not following the cases of whatever is going on in the. What I'm asking is, when a crime is committed in the southeast, who will investigate? Who would the reports be made to? Who will annotate it? I mean, who will that vacuum?
No, the way you are saying it is this: when a crime is committed in an organized society, who will take care of
an organized society? When a crime is forget all that. When a crime is committed at the moment in Imo State, the person will go to the person will go to their local police station, make a complaint to the police, and if the police are able to, they will investigate and hopefully apprehend the culprit. That is how the system works. But then,
no, you are too white to be a black man. Let me tell you something.
What are you talking about?
No, the way you are reasoning like a white man. If you have a case in Nigeria,
so you don't know who will fill the vacuum once you chase security out of Igbo land. So free for all, vigilante.
You listen to me. You listen. You are the presenter of the program. You listen to me.
No, because you are not answering the question. You can't say who will fill the vacuum.
You listen to me. That's the small problem with the get. Listen, even the Nigeria you are talking about, if you have case in the Nigeria police station today, if you go to the police station to report your case, you know that before the policemen will follow you out of the police station, you will have to fuel the vehicle for them.
We all know that. We all know that.
Okay, if you know that, what are you doing to solve the problem? How long are we going to continue to live in the problem?
Yes, but what will happen?
What are we doing to stop it?
Do you not understand the question, or you don't know how to answer it? Do you understand the question I'm asking you?
Oh, that I understand your question 100%. It's you that want to
tell me. Explain back to me. No, explain back to me what I'm asking. Explain back to me.
You cannot see that things are wrong. You leave the things that are wrong. You want somebody to just jump.
I am acknowledging that things are wrong, but it's making things work. It's making things worse, rather, the panacea to curing things that are wrong.
I disagree with you. One man, listen, you cannot say things are worse.
No, hold on. Who will feel? I mean, it's a simple enough question. Who will feel the security vacuum once the security personnel have been chased out of Igbo land? Who will feel it? Who will feel that vacuum?
Listen now, the security problem in Igbo land was high, and now that people are taking care of it, now it's getting low. So there's no way.
Who is taking care of it? Who is taking care of it? Who is in charge of law and order in Igbo land?
The best way that you get your answer now is just for you to be patient and see after they finish burning the police station if crime will continue in that area, because you cannot expect the policemen that are committing this crime.
This is a recipe for chaos. You don't know what you're talking about. You're cheering on.
No. One more, excuse me. Do you remember that Danjuma?
You do not know a single thing.
Let us talk about the problem. You remember that Danjuma?
You do not know a single thing. You don't know a single thing. When you create that vacuum, that place will burn. That is the thing. When you create that vacuum, that place will burn.
Listen, one man. Let us try to be a little bit. Even if we are talking, let us also remember that people are listening to us. They should be
and you should remember that as well, because you seem to have like rose-tinted glasses on, thinking that ESN. Is it ESN that will become police? What are you talking about?
ESN. Listen, what I'm saying. Okay, let me make reference to what I'm saying about. Listen now. When Danjuma, you remember when Danjuma made his broadcast, he told us that we have to defend ourselves, that the military, please listen carefully.
I know what Danjuma said.
Colluding. You understand me? That the military are colluding.
Okay, stay there. Let me bring Martin in. Martin, are you there? Martins?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so sorry, do you understand the question I'm asking? I'm asking that if the security personnel are chased out of Igbo land, who will fill that vacuum that is obviously going to be there? If you I'm sure you understand that. So address that.
I think if the security apparatus are being chased from Igbo land, then they will finally achieve what they are yearning for. Like they want a zoo state, basically. It's a tough
chaos, really not? Is that on the recipe for chaos?
Yeah, it is.
As ineffectual as the police are, and we all know that they're the worst in the world, they are still there as some form of
camouflage.
Yeah, as a presence of some of a structure.
Deterrent,
but if you have,
basically.
if sorry, just to use this crude an example, if a boy overwhelms a girl on the streets of Igbo land and has his way with her right there on the street, who will stop that? If a young man goes up to a middle-aged woman and grabs the bag of her and walks away, who will stop that? I mean, who will stop day-to-day crime when security? I mean, what are they? They just chance these things without thinking it through. This is the problem I have with that space.
To be honest, the Igbo in Nigeria, unlike
and by the way, not the Igbos, but that's just insular IPOB, because Igbos are the best people, but that IPOB movement is just
me myself. My descendants are from the Igbo. However, it seems that everybody is a commander. That's the problem.
That's the thing.
You understand? Everybody is a commander in that state, in that space. And, until people learn how to work together and know what they want, you can't be agitating for sovereignty. Then, there's nothing in place. There is a way people can go about it. Certainly not the way it is.
Martin, let me just cite an example that makes the point that I'm making. So they said they wanted Saddam Hussein out of the way. They blew up Iraq and then, of course, had no plans to fill in the vacuum. Chaos. They said they want Gaddafi out of the way, so they blew up the guy. They had no plan to fill the vacuum, and that is what is coming into Nigeria via the Northeast now. Weapons everywhere. So it is this sort of chaos. So they go without this kumbaya, hurrah mentality and blow up stuff, and then, of course, haven't then chased off whatever little structure is in place, then anarchy takes over. This is the language and this is the fear.
You're absolutely right. And if my honorable Anthony one man will listen to you, then you just spoke the truth. And every blind man can understand this, not even the man with the eyes. Every blind man can understand what you're saying, certainly, and it's rather the truth or nothingness. But but they will not listen. That's the problem. People will not listen. People don't understand the concept.
And that is not to say the police are doing a good job anywhere in Nigeria. They are the worst of the worst, but they're just still there as a presence. So it's not what are they doing? Are they not terrible? We all know they are terrible, but they're still the police force to maintain whatever little sliver.
And why are they? Why are they terrible? We all know why.
Training, corruption. When they are paying a police officer 30,000 naira a month, and you are telling him not to be corrupt, on which planet can that 30,000 naira even get him from his house to the office?
Even in the UK, the police are corrupt in some words. And all around the world, the police are corrupt. But there is a way we can cop that. There's a way. There's a precedent being set all over the world that we can try to arrange all these things. We can try to talk like face to face with our leader and try to address this issue in a professional manner.
Okay, Martin, I'll come back to you. I just wanted to sample your opinion to see if I'm completely missing the point. Maybe I'm not. So let me go back to another one man so I can shuffle him. So another one man, just to a different narrative, because I don't think you and I are on the same page with that with that one.
Yes, but we are still on the same page because you said something just now that we know that the police are corrupt. That is why they are like that. How can they be receiving 30,000 naira? Okay, so that brings us back to the case of NSAT. We were fighting for the police, for a better life for them. But the same police joined the government to be shooting the people. They killed a lot of youth in elections.
So what would you have seen happen? What would if the government tell the police to go and quell a riot that is demanding better pay for the police? What do you expect the police to do? If the government instructs the police to go and quell a riot that is in their own best interest, what do you expect the police to do?
Yes, let me answer your question. What I expect the police to do is not to go there and start shooting the people, because like a revolution have happened in many other countries before, where the military, they will back the citizens for the protest, not going there to kill their own citizens. Okay, now you are killing the people that are fighting for you for a better life, to have a good living. You understand me? Now you kill them. Now the same people will be driving on the street of the same country. You want to collect bribe for them for driving on the same street. and they say you are putting them in that same condition. I tell the people come out to cry.
So you are saying they should not obey orders? Huh?
Listen,
are you saying they should not obey orders?
You listen first now. They are obeying orders. That's why I use another country. Nigeria is not the only country where people obey orders. You understand me? Because we are looking at it from one angle. Nigeria is not the only country where people obey orders. You cannot obey orders.
If the police go against order and they back the people, that is essentially a coup.
Okay,
that is treason.
Let me tell you how to know a foolish person. If the youth were fighting for the police to get the salary increment and to have better life, and the police stopped the youth for fighting for them, and today the police are being killed. And the same we now are talking about, why are the police being killed? Who is now the fool?
The police were instructed to carry out their duties. What did you expect them to do?
There's a saying in my place that if somebody asks you to go and jump inside the fire, will you go and jump inside the fire?
That's a different that analogy doesn't fit.
That's what you are saying now, because of that instruction that they want to obey is costing them their life now. The people that
they should have disobeyed the instruction to quell the riot.
Yes, if they have disobeyed that instruction.
So what would have happened? What would have happened if they disobeyed that? Hold on. What will happen if they disobey?
I understand the question. Listen to me. Yeah. If they have disobeyed that instruction, number one, the people in power, the government, will now understand that this thing, because the government they depend on the forces for protection. So if that their protection is now reacting against them, not really fighting them, because they are not maybe say, okay, they want to join people to take over the government. No. If they see that the police are not reacting by shooting the people or by just protecting the protest, why the listen, why the protest lasted?
No, we understand what you're saying. But listen to this, another one man. If the police and the security personnel disobey the orders to quell the rioters, and we saw how intense that riot was, then the rioters continue to march, and they march up to the State House in Lagos State. They march up to Aso Rock, and then the police and the security personnel, they still stand aside, and then of course the rioters will march in to the State House, and they still stand aside, and then they will lynch the governor, and then they'll still stand aside. What are you?
Listen, I agree with you, one man. Why do we have to go to that extent? Why won't the government cooperate with the people by trying to make things right? The government is
on which planet has any government ever cooperated? Governments don't cooperate with the people traditionally.
I don't understand
how many governments do as the people will. Maybe in Scandinavia, but not many countries do what the people will.
One man, wait now. You talk one kind. I don't understand you. Me, I like to talk.
Can I just chip in, please?
You understand me?
Can I just address?
Yeah, chip in, yeah.
Yeah, chip in, yeah. You can chip in.
Yeah. You see, the police, we're saying this as if the police are individual. The police is not an individual entity. The police is a statutory to protect, you understand? They receive order. They receive their order. And the police can be me, it can be you, it can be anybody. This beef about the police, if the police turn up on NSAS and kill people and molest people, there is accountability pointed at direction. It's not certainly on one individual in the police, but there are the police that they work under command. And, for a policeman to go out and shoot, a policeman cannot just go out and shoot like that. Do you understand?
I get you. Okay, let me chip in into what you are saying now, because we all experience the answers. You understand? Because I like talking from experience, and I react from experience. You know that why some military men were busy shooting some people in the warehouse where they kept the palliatives. Do you remember one military man? I think it was Jos, where people came in and told them, "You people should be calm. If you want to go in there and carry the palliative, go in there and carry the palliative. They don't destroy anything." And you also remember one where they went to the NYMC camp, where the military man was talking to people very peacefully that, please,
in Abuja,
anything here. What we have here is what is left for the NYSC. These are the ways that uniformed men should approach people.
Yeah, no, that's effective. That's effective people management. So those policemen should be held as examples. because that policeman that is saying going peacefully and carry what you want to carry, he had assessed the situation to say that it is not a matter of force, because if we use force here, everybody will be overwhelmed. So he, through his own intelligence, managed that situation excellently. But the police have to follow orders. It's essentially what
let's look at it from this way too, one man. Let's look at it from this way. Since the Nigerian government have been using force, by implementing force in everything, anytime the people come out of the street, they always use force in everything they do. Where has that taken us to today?
I like it when you say the Nigerian government. Do you understand?
Okay. Another one, man. So just give us thoughts on the other topics you want to give us thoughts on, so I can shuffle you, because I'm not sure. I may well be getting it completely wrong, or you may well be getting it completely wrong. But one thing is certain: one of us is getting it completely wrong. But another topic that you want to comment on.
Which other topic do you have again?
We were talking about the Ebonyi money. Have you spoken on that?
Yeah, I'm talking about that. It's going to be relooted. There's nothing about that. That is already.
All right. Thank you. Another woman. I'll bring you back. It's just really to bring in other voices. So, Martin, you had already come in. So you just give us
before I go out, let me quickly say this. I would like to listen to other guys, and I would like to come back. I have one or two things to say too.
Yeah, no, I'll bring you back. I'm only putting you on the subs bench. So, Martin, you were already speaking. So let's hear more from you. Martins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you want me to chip in?
No, is the just to that space in Ebonyi, which really is the highlight of the day, really, maybe a low light even given the incident, but really the hot burning topic of discussion. Two narratives, the eyewitnesses and common sense would have it be a suicide bomber, but the narration from the authorities is like a mishap by security personnel. I'm not sure if you're aware of the two narratives and where you weigh on either of them.
To be honest, if you look at that grenade, grenade is not something. It's not what you see around police, even in the Western war. If you ask most of the Nigerian army, you find out that most of them, all their service, 36 years, they've never seen a grenade, or they never held one before. So how can a grenade this is what they need to be looking into. How can a grenade manage to get into that space? Where we're talking about like civilians.
But what has grenade even got to do with policing? Because it's not
that's one thing.
I mean, it's utterly whoever came up with that narrative should be sacked and flogged. They had to come up with something, but that.
Yeah, this is what they need to be looking into. What kind of first thing first, what kind of grenade it is? We have different type of grenades. Is it MK3A2? Is it ABC M17? Is it M8? Is it M14? So they need to be looking into this thing to know the gravity of this kind of grenade.
You sound like a military man yourself. How come you know all these things?
They need to know what kind of grenade is present there at that scene, so that we can know what we are up against. Because as it stands, by the mention of grenade in a civic setting, that itself is a problematic too. Even the governor itself is not safe. Nobody is safe. So they need to be getting all the apparatus, all the intelligence they can gather to know what kind of grenade is present there, and is it really a grenade, or what is it? They need to find out first before start making all trials.
Which is more plausible? I'm asking of those two narratives, the narratives that we're hearing from the streets, or the narratives that we're hearing from the State House.
Is certain, like, what's the narrative? The narrative from the street, they say
the narrative from the street is that it was a suicide bomber trying to access a primary school, and he was repelled by the security, by the gatesmen and security, because they were querying why he wanted to enter and he could not come up with a justifiable reason. So they chased him away, and then in the course of that, he ended himself. But then the thing that we're hearing from the government officials is that it's police personnel that was carrying a grenade, and then that grenade exploded on him.
Both narratives are a lie, because if it is a suicide bomber wearing vest, certainly will not go to school. There is lots of places that can cause more havoc, like marketplaces and public places. Not definitely just a school, and it will not achieve its aim. So, looking from that perspective, that is fallacy. Then, from the government perspective too, as well, there is an atom of lies there as well. Because what is a policeman doing with a grenade in Nigeria? You understand? And so those two narratives, I can't go into it into depth more, but just think, when you think about it, you find that
neither story really hang
good
together
water.
very well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hold your thought, Ovie. You look like you look worried. Why the worried look? Is it because Bia is not here? You came in expectation.
That could be it.
So what are you making? I'm sure you are aware of the Ebonyi narrative and but really to that Ebonyi narrative first. What is your take on it?
The police have officially make a statement, so yeah, I think I'll have to go with what they are saying.
You don't find it far-fetched? You don't find it far-fetched?
I mean, this is a political season, so I mean, anything goes. So
a grenade being strapped by a security police personnel in a civic environment in a non-war area.
The police authority don't seem to have any problem with that. I mean,
and then the grenade, which has a lot of safety catches, those safety catches came off, and then a trained personnel could not handle the situation to the point that half his body was blown up. This is what the police is telling us.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, they are not alarmed the fact that a grenade is out there. So that's to say they are aware.
But then the second narrative is that it was a Fulani suicide bomber trying to cause havoc in the southeast.
I mean, I mean, what can I say? Should I disagree or agree with that?
No. Well, it's the two narratives. They are both feeble, but one of them is utterly ludicrous. So where would you weigh in the two?
This is a breaking news for me. So I don't know. I have to wait. Give me 1 or 2
okay,
days
to that space then. Iswap and Boko Haram and the experts are telling us that we have cause for even greater worry if Iswap have taken over Sambisa Forest from Boko Haram.
Greater worry? What do you mean by greater worry? We've been worried for the past 15 years.
Is a more potent threat, is what they are saying. Because they are better organized.
At this point, it's not that they are coming, they are already here. So what should we do? Should we evacuate? Everybody should run away.
The implication of that is more havoc will be caused. That should worry you, Ovie.
What as in my worry will not bring any solution.
Well, at least first concern, and then the solution will come. If you are disinterested, then there is even less chance of a solution. Is there not?
What is happening there is business. So there's nothing me and you really can do about it. We can only worry. I choose not to worry because worry will not do anything. We can only analyze it, but there's nothing we can. So they are already here and they've been here for the past 15 years. So if they say they are coming more, they will call them more states now. So it's business. There's money. Everybody's making money for the OT. The military are making money. Everybody is a cash cow. So it's going to be there for us. For as long as they want it. There's just me and you can do about it. So those who are making alarm are also making money too. Who are these people that are actually making alarm? What is if they are not into it too? So everything is just it's business. It's a business transaction. It's 15 years going now, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to continue. It's going to, of course, again, 2023 is here, so there's every need to overblown it, or if there's every need for them to actually act. So as I said, everybody is seeking attention now, More money will keep it. Every government is even printing money now. Even America is printing money. So where are those money?
There you go. Quantitative easing. Okay, Ovie, let's hear from Spark. Spark, are you more animated by this than Ovie, who seems to have like a cynical view? Spark.
Yes, good evening. I'm here.
Yeah, hi. What are you making of it? The Ebonyi state, the Ebonyi case, especially.
Yes, as a matter of fact, when it happened, I saw the video immediately. I saw the people gathered and all that, and of course, immediately within about 4 hours, the federal government.
You are a journalist, of course, Spark. You are a journalist, you know. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Good. Yeah. So yeah, so you are better informed. Yeah. So carry on.
So there's no doubt, even apart from what everybody has said here, there's no doubt that that was the person that died was out there on a mission. There's no question about it. Like has been rightly put, the Nigerian police, they don't carry those kind of high-grade weapons. You understand? Strap yourself with bombs. That was not because the way it was reported. Oh, they even said tear gas canister was used to kill. I mean, that was so flatly ridiculous. It was clearly a suicide bomb. What has been happening is that the Nigerian government, the state government, and the political apparatus, they are good at information management in Nigeria because they know Nigerians are easy to a lot of Nigerians are easy to deceive. Then secondly, they know sentiments also govern a lot of our thinking. So even when it becomes clear that this is the situation, for sentimental reasons, people will run with a certain narrative. But if you ask me, that was definitely an attempted suicide bombing, and it reinforces what was said a few weeks ago or a month ago by U.S. intelligence that the Iswap boys would make a go for the South. They are already on ground. There's no doubt about it. What they are just doing is they have dismantled or they are dismantling the Shekau
structures
and merging everything.
Hold on, Ovie, let me shuffle you to bring in another voice.
For the Ibori loot, I'm interested in that.
I'm interested in the Delta too.
Okay, so okay, quickly round off on the
Spark. You can switch me. I'm here. I'm around.
Oh, okay. I'll bring you back. So carry on, Spark.
Okay. About the Ibori loot, well, this is just what's happening because
have you rounded off your thought on that Ebonyi thing? Because people are not really giving it the. Am I overplaying it or is it?
No. Absolutely not. You know, that's the problem. One man, the main problem we've had with this Boko Haram and the whole insurgency thing is, in one vein, I will tell you one truth that a large section of Northerners actually subscribe to the ideology. It is true. At least you've seen that from that official that was sacked in Borno State. Then there's just this lethargy among some Nigerians. I don't use the word dense, but they don't want to accept, even with all the evidence on ground, that we are in real Somalia mode or Lebanon mode. They still want to hold on.
Do you think the reasons why Nigerians are not accepting of it is because largely they still see it as a northern issue and far away from them?
Largely, that is very, very true. It's in the south. We I don't know why, but we, except for southerners that live in the north that know what is really going on. In the deep south, in the west, we just have this laid back. We are more interested in local issues, local rivalry. So we don't want to accept that this thing has come. But this Ebonyi thing is a very, very dangerous signal because if it is swept under the carpet, trust me, a second and a more daring attempt will be made. And maybe if that happens, I pray it doesn't, but if it does, it will definitely wake up everybody because the consciousness is also building up that, yes, we have bandits around. Then now the terrorists have come. Remember, I told you last week, one man, this same Al-Banawi that has been mentioned now as the leader of Iswap. I told you when I went for a training in 2016, and an American, he made it clear that Al-Banawi was coming, that he had moved to Libya and he would come to Nigeria. And it's sad that for some reason, nothing was done. Then another thing, before, let me round up quickly. You recall that before Shekau allegedly was killed or was injured, one of
You're saying allegedly, you're still not convinced?
You know, see, it's a bit fluid because, you know, his body has not been displayed. And normally, if he was killed, Boko Haram would have announced a new leader, but of course they are in disarray right now. But if you notice, on May 19th, the day before Shekau was taken out, one of the key supporters of Buhari's government, Adamu Garba, had even said, and I quote, he said, either way you want to look at it, the fracas between Iswap and Shekau is not good for Nigeria. To me, Iswap is more dangerous. We have two options. Wait for them to destroy themselves before we move to cross them, or tactically support both. And he said, if Iswap succeeded in dislodging Boko Haram, the survival of Boko Haram may be forced to join forces with them. Why don't we work with them or do nothing? So it's clear that this thing was already coming. But what I'm worried about, one man, is that if you observe, there is no real military activity going on since this Shekau and the structure was taken out. So this reinforces the belief that was there an agreement or was there an attempt to reach one of these two groups while they were fighting, and in the process, the chief of army staff got caught up in the crash and all that. These are the things fueling the country.
So are people trying to make the link between the chief of army staff and Shekau? Because of course, they think the two things happened in close quarters.
Yes. Now,
I mean, time-wise, yeah.
Yes, some people are trying to add 1+2. Then again, the Nigerian military just says, we're investigating. And normally, you would expect that they would have moved in or taken advantage, but there seems to be a halt in activity. So something definitely is going on. And Nigerians need to really start asking real questions, because we are not fond of asking the right questions. We only ask questions maybe when it affects our personal comfort, especially in the South. And that's when people now start talking, oh, I don't get like money not day, oh, they don't increase. That's the only time you see people talk. This is a very serious matter, but people need to think constructively. This thing is deeper. As for the Delta one, okay.
Oh yeah. What questions are you asking about the Ibori loot? Yeah. So yeah, go there.
Okay. Now this is what is happening, because you know, in Delta State, the political situation is that we rotate the governorship within the three senatorial district, and now the elections are coming in 2 years' time. And the governor just recently dissolved the cabinet because he said, oh, many of his members want to contest. Unfortunately, if you ask me, that money, I wish the federal government, rather than hand it over, I'm a Delta, and it's our money, but I just wish what could have happened was that there was a deal that the federal government said, okay, you know what? Point out key federal, the money is small, but point out a federal infrastructure that you want us to pump money into, even if it's the Benin Warri Road that is very bad now, and they agree to pump money, no problem. But giving the money now, at this time that the elections are coming, and the political barometer in Delta has gone up because the incumbent is now trying to assert himself from the Ibori dynasty. So there's already tension in that regard, because he wants to bring his own successor. Ibori wants to bring his own successor, as has been the practice since he was governor in 1999. And the way it looks like, the governor,
the present governor there, is he an Ibori boy?
All of them, the whole structure, even the APC faction of Delta, they are all Ibori people. That's the truth. It's just like they've been shuffling from one part structure to the other. But even the deputy senate president is an Ibori boy, all of them. He runs the state. But now the governor wants to build a new dynasty. But more importantly and more dangerously, he wants to upset the rotational arrangement that moves power from senatorial district to another.
So Obaseki or Shomole scenario.
Exactly. In fact, it is just Godfather and Godson at work. So the money coming at this time, I wish they had just, like I said, pumped it into a federal project in Delta than give it, because already it's it's you know how we. I don't need to go for that.
All right. Let me take another one man's comment as I seek to round off, because we're trying to make our sessions a lot shorter these days. So we take your final comments. Another one man.
Let me unmute myself.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. Oh, my brother, my only comment would be for us to pass the message to our people at home that they should be prepared, because there's war already, according to Martins. You know, we may pretend or romance it with words. There's already war, like what is going on in the southeast, because there's no way we talk. I know you don't like to hear Brafa or Nnamdi Kanu, But there's no way the program will go on without Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra.
No, it's you people it's you guys that told me not to be mentioning him anymore now. Anytime I mention his name, is Kung Fu fighting all the time.
No, do you know I was angry with you the other day? I'm very sorry. Do you know I was angry with you the other day? Because of the way
when were you angry with me?
Let's forget about that. Just let's forget about that.
You know, I recognize your voice, don't you? You can change your name. You can't change your voice.
No.
Rowley. You can change your name, but you can't. Yeah, I know you are Rowley. I knew you were Rowley all the way.
You understand me? So so that's why I'm saying sorry. You know, I'm always apologizing to you. Anytime I give you some bomb, I'll come and apologize. But that
well, maybe not give the bomb. Then this is the thing. You knowingly do the wrong thing, and then you say,
no.
But anyway, yeah.
No. Do you know why? Do you know why sometimes you find it difficult to understand me? Is that you don't always allow me to explain some little things that I want to explain, and that really bothers me a lot, and it makes me go crazy because I'm trying to make it.
You're not the only one. You know why? You know why I interrupt? You know why I interrupt? One, I try to manage the time, and two, I try to manage the people, and three, I try to manage the narrative. So if I see that somebody is just going on a wander and they're wandering around in what they're saying, then I interrupt. So just to keep it flowing.
One thing you should understand then, with the way things are going now, we shouldn't pretend because life is at stake. That is the most important thing. No matter somebody's achievement on earth, once it involves lives, my brother, let us always pay attention to it. To me, I think life is more important because we can, you know, like I said the other time, we are in our comfort zone. My brother, you see the things that is happening, and do you know that in my village, one of my auntie was raped in the farm.
Wow, sorry to hear that.
You understand me? So if somebody like me is talking, you understand me, I will sound different from you because the kind of experience the kind of things I'm hearing from my own home, you know, like it's like I'm feeling the pain directly. I don't know if you understand me. So I will definitely sound different from the way you will sound. And you understand me? So you shouldn't to allow people, because a lot of people have to learn. Like what I tell my people today is how to protect yourself. In whichever way, anything you can get to protect yourself, no matter how small you are, you need to get something to protect yourself. Because we're in that stage. We cannot come and start romancing words and start pretending as if this will be better tomorrow. My brother, there's no way Nigeria will be good. Because these guys are not making any effort to see things. Like, if you ask me, I like Nigeria. I don't want Nigeria to break. If you ask me in my mind, I don't want Nigeria.
You are saying that as an Igbo man, you know, they will remove yellow Gary privileges from you, you know. You will not be allowed to eat yellow Gary anymore.
One man, do you know that because we cannot live forever on earth, it is good for us to leave a good legacy? Do you understand me? That thing is very important.
How can you as an Igbo man say that you like Nigeria?
No, listen, I'm not an Igbo man. I'm from a state. I'm not an Igbo man.
You are from what? Okay.
I'm not an Igbo
man. No wonder your mouth is so sharp. You people, is that Wafi, isn't it?
Which village you come from?
That's a pocket.
Which local government?
I'm from Onwan local government, Onwan West local government. I'm from Muslim. Yeah, you understand me? You understand me? So it's not because of that. You know the way things are going now, my brother. You do it. It's just like the bombing that is taking place in most of the police stations. That's how the bombing is going to be taking place in most of the social media, because any social media we know the letters.
You see, you always have to cross the line, Rowley. All right.
I go tell you. So, my brother, yes, let us be serious for once. You know, let us try to always spread this message. So I go like, if you can sometimes be talking about, because Oduduwa is holding ground very strongly. Even now, you know, I know you like Tinubu very much, but I'm not the one
I don't. Why do you say that I don't? But carry on.
I'm not the one I'm saying it, because very soon, I think most Tinubu property in Lagos is going to go down with the way things are going now.
You see?
You understand me?
Now you are promoting anarchy.
We don't pray for these things. The government should try. You know, we must go back to the government. Anytime we talk, let us give them their blames. Let us know their faults, so that they should be aware to their faults. You know.
All right.
To put this around.
All right, Rowley. We want to make it short this time around, but you can go back to your original name. You know, so that's fine. Everybody has a moment, and you had a moment, so no grudges. So who was I with? Oh, he left. Sparks. Oh, well, you see now. You see what you've done, Rowley. So, Ovie, he was speaking to that space about Ibori, and you were saying you had thoughts in that direction.
I think you know, I totally agree with what he's saying. Ibori still get Delta State today. So, but you know,
And you're
the current
comfortable with that, Luther?
No, I mean Ibori. I think among his mates during that time, the guy stand out. I mean, if you go Ogara, you know what I'm talking about. The guy turned village to pretty much, you know, which I go say now, he passed town. So as his people, the guy take care of his people. You know, everybody, all of them they steal. So that's why
But
the guy
to
is
that
stealing them.
loot, because what Sparks was saying is that it will just be
Now,
used towards the election. It will be used for the election.
That's Fulani. That's Fulani at his best. That's Fulani move. As Fulani is he's trying to hate that small, you know, misunderstanding. I mean, that small graga that is happening between the city governor and the Oga himself. So, you know, now money, they say money can do anything. So them releasing that money to them, let's see how it's going to play out. So that's a political move. That's just because that camp is very strong. Delta State, you know, nobody they near Delta State. They hold that state for as firm as you can. Even to Nubu say Lagos they shake small for at times. But Ibori hold Delta strong. So that's an attempt
What
to
do
see
you
how
mean
they can
Ibori
break it.
hold? Is he still in prison? Is he still in
Ibori,
prison?
no, the Ibori is a free man. Even when he dey prison, Ibori na get Delta State. Politically,
All right.
the guy hold ground. No, as it is now, unless anything happen tomorrow, but at least now the guy is strong.
With that is Okrika behavior.
Well, now you they take on now critical behavior. Then men they fear him. Up to the Asurok himself, they know who he is. Even as if they quiet, as if they engage him.
Did he do jail time? Did he do jail time in Nigeria? Did they lock him up for a bit? In Nigeria,
No.
Okay. You see, this is the thing. The guy steals money, they go and recover it from Britain, and then they give it back to him.
For the federal government to release that money and made it public, because that's what they did. They just make it public. For them to do that, they are just trying to see how far they think of hate the confusion that is going on. That's a move, but let's see how it goes.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let me shuffle you again, Ovie. I'll still bring you back to bring Mike in. Quinkins, sorry, you've been waiting for a while. Quinkins.
Yeah, good day, everyone.
Good day to you.
Familiar Pidgin English will always say worry. Yeah? I don't wait, tire, so I don't wait.
Are you from that region too?
Yeah, I'm from Warri, so I've been waiting.
I've waited. You waffy people.
So many conspiracy theories up, left, down, right, everywhere. So I'll first of all speak to the light of the police officer being a terrorist person that exploded himself. I'll first of all speak on that light. On that regard, I'll say this. I agree to be on this thing he just said. He made a point some few minutes ago, and he said it's a political atmosphere right now, and everybody is tense. I can understand so many people coming up with different narratives of what's going on. But if the governor is coming out and saying that it was a police officer, and okay, everyone is just trying to do back and forth narrative, trying to cover their assets. And I also agree with your point, one man, when you said it could also mean that they don't want to throw the state into chaos, whereby people start trying to go after a particular ethnic group, like the Fulani announcers. So I can understand that. But in my own opinion, I see this as a terrorist move, because considering that Iswap just overthrew Boko Haram, there are a lot of things that could go wrong in the Nigerian space. And of course, like some people have said over here, that there may be a move to the south. So all these are little signs that we should take into perspective. Like, it has always been the Nigerian traditional way of overlooking everything. In the Nigerian space, underestimate everything. Like,
sorry, Quinkins, do you think it's overlooking things, or do you think that bad news just occurs with such frequency within Nigeria that is very difficult to keep up? So within the space of this week, we have heard that Iswap has taken over from Boko Haram in Sambisa Forest, taking out Shekau. The chief of army staff has been dropped from, he has dropped from a helicopter or whatever, and now somebody is blowing themselves up in Ebonyi state, all within 1 week.
Because, well, I think it's still traditional thing in Nigeria, because it is this same Nigeria that you heard that a sitting minister will make comments like it is not 12 people that died, it was 6 people.
So that one is okay then, huh?
Yes. So we underestimate everything in Nigeria. This is a warning sign. That's how I see that particular situation in a. Then I also want to make a point. I said with an man that came and said something about you should blow up and blow up there if the police are not trying. No. I don't agree with him on that, because
no, that was Rowley, wasn't it? That's always Rowley. That's that's what he does. He can come under a different name, but his politics is still the same.
Yeah, you were asking him a question that when you blow up the police stations in the east, what happens to the power vacuum? And he couldn't answer. Well, I'll answer that question for him, since he wouldn't answer. What will happen is who does will occupy? Or government will come in, there'll be chaos. That's what's going to happen.
Of course.
Yes.
As bad as the police are, they are still the police. You know, if you remove them, then what do you have?
That's just the honest truth. But I also understand the displeasure of the Nigerian people, especially for not trusting the police. The security forces, they have failed not just them, they have failed everyone. We saw all that in NSAS, where the people were trying to like make our points, where this will be carefully taken care of, and still the same police people are against the protest, and you can see the evidence of them killing and shooting people in the streets of Lagos and stuff, and the army, of course, coming in to make things worse. So that's that. So it is how it is. That's always been a Nigerian thing. And like Ovie said, it's a political scene. All these things are narratives, and they are all going back and forth, everything building up to 2023 election. So that is that. Then as for Delta State, my state, Ibori, like I said in the comment section before I came into the live feed, I said Ibori is a big boy in Delta State. Of course, everyone knows that he's a godfather in Delta State, and he has a lot of loyal boys in both parties, PDP, APC, whatever. So the money that they recovered in abroad, that by the federal government, and they've returned it to Delta State, is just simply going to be given back to him. That's how I see it, though.
Of course. What they probably do, they will award some fake contract and give him his money back.
We give him. I don't believe this thing that people are saying in the comment section, that they are going to monitor Okowa, present governor of Delta State, and see that he doesn't give the money, or maybe monitor him. There's not going to be any money. Just like
how can they monitor him? How can they monitor him? He can just. It's not like, I mean, it's just nonsense. But anyway, go
like
on.
Some
Thinking where you
like
are
this,
is very bad, but
some foreign leaders said that Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. It's just what it is. So for us to have such a system, it obviously means that when this money comes back to Delta State, they are just going to hand him over his money. Sir, Ogasa, sorry that he took your money.
maybe they will even give him interest. Yeah?
They will even give him interest. The money will be so complete with an apology on top of it. So he's going to cash out his money back.
How dare us be so rude to recover our money from you?
Yeah, that's just the reality of things. So then going, I want to share some light also on this Iswap and Boko Haram. What happened is, I'm just going to give you a very catchy phrase that we all know in Nigeria. It is going from fry pan to fire. So that's just what it is. We have just gone from fry pan to fire because Iswap, obviously, they are more organized.
Of course, this is the thing, you know.
We are talking about an organized terrorist.
How do you guys even know this, man? How do you know they are more organized? Right? Were you in their camp?
Because they come from hardened fighting pedigree, which is ISIS. They've been fighting all the way from the Middle East all the way to the shores of West Africa.
Yeah,
so these are seasoned.
Did you visit them?
Because that's the narrative. That is the narrative.
Whose narrative?
Like, listen,
okay, let Quickens round off because his line is a bit bad. So yeah.
Okay, so this is just the honest truth. They are more organized because I even feel like if I say this now, might offend some people, or it might come back with some disagreements. But if for somebody to tackle Shekau, someone that has been on the throat of Nigerian forces, killing the Nigerian citizens, and they came
Since
into the
2009, yeah.
Yes, and they came into the scene. It's just like a homework. They just came back like, oh, who? Shekau? Okay, Shekau delete, and he's gone. This is something that Nigeria have.
How did you know it was in a type of Shekau?
Okay. I'm going to have to let you go, Quickens. Not interesting comments, but your line is very bad. So yeah, that's already better. So, Mike, I'm holding you to one side because I'm going to be issuing you a series of warnings because I've been getting too many complaints about you. But let me go to Martins first. Martins?
Amen.
Yeah. No, sorry, I was just wrapping people up. But you had not yet had a full expression, so I'm coming to you.
To be honest, you know, the oldest thing about the Iswap and the Boko Haram, I just want everybody to calm down, to have a chill pill a bit. Because, you know, if you're talking about Iswap now, you know, it's a very, very massive topic. And topic like that, you know, it's not good to just speculate or, you know, or think individual, you know, prediction. Because if you've never come across such people, you can't be making some utterance. You know, the ISWAP, you're looking at this terror group, we're talking about international terror group now. You know, they are well funded, they are well established, and trust me, if they spend 1 minute in Nigeria, the whole Nigeria will be on fire. So this kind of speculation, I can't.
People are already trying to draw a parallel or a line between ISWAP and what happened in Ebonyi State. People are already trying to draw that link.
That's totally fallacy. It's moral panic. I have fight against ISWAP. You understand? And trust me, it's not this speculation. It's not this moral panic, which some people say is grenade. Some people say is. Trust me, if they want to attack, it won't be what you're saying. Do you understand? And if they are in ground, it's just the Boko Haram trying to renew their name and claim pay allegiance to ISWAP, in my perception. And the Boko Haram is not that they're that strong. The Boko Haram, you know, they have been given a feeding bottle to carry out the attack without any authority on their tail. That's what it is. Because you can't tell me that a country of how many millions people, you know, the group of Boko Haram terrorizing people and people shouting, running into their cave.
And they are saying that Sambisa forest is almost the size of a state within the Nigerian space. So it's not just some random forest. But if we know that that is where they are, and that's why don't they just just commit to it and just take that space? Burn the forest down, and then nobody is in the forest. I mean, it's not hard science. It's not nuclear physics.
And if they're in that forest, they can't know that forest more than the army themselves. Yes, and they should turn that place to their training ground. So, and look, we are shouting. I think all these things are political, political rivalry and political, people are just trying to play politics with it. To be honest, look, we are talking, all these things we're saying now, there are youths, people that just graduate now, they're serving. Why are they serving? Serving who? So why they just to enlist them to the army? Do you understand?
You know what they do in Israel? What they do in Israel, this sort of NYC that we do in Nigeria, they have a similar thing in Israel, but it's like a military training sort of thing. So they give you that military training for like a year, and then they give you like a weapon. So that is how they are able to defend themselves. And really, we shouldn't be too far from that. I've always been of the thought that if every Nigerian, if there's a right to carry in Nigeria, then we will see a slowing down in criminality just right across the board.
You know, Nigeria is a country where if somebody greets you good morning, you need to check time. That's the problem. You know, everybody want to talk. They want to talk big. They want to make everything look big. They want to make terrorists look big. You understand, just to keep people down. But trust me, it's not Iswap in Nigeria. Maybe they might be paying allegiance to them wherever they are, but trust me, they don't have that finance,
but just to understand that Iswap, they are only simply a splinter group, because we read that in the opening thing. The Islamic State in West Africa province, Iswap, a splinter group of Boko Haram, is growing in power and influence. So a splinter is a breakaway group from Boko Haram that has reformed itself and then formed an alliance. Yeah?
They're paying allegiance to Iswap.
To ISIS, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I fight against ISIS. You see, I've been to Afghanistan, Iraq, and all those places. And
are you ex-military?
I'm still serving somehow.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Oh, well done, you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I'll leave you guys to it now. I want to talk.
All right. All right, brilliant, Martin. Let's hear more from you in whatever form you want to present yourself. Let me go to Mike. So, Mike, before you come on, I've been getting a lot of complaints from a lot of people about you. Actually, I got a complaint about you again this afternoon, with people just speaking to the tonality of your presentation, that it jars people up the wrong way. So now, people say that. So hold on, Mike, and listen. So people say that your tonality, it jars people up the wrong way, especially when you are speaking to the Eastern people that are come on this channel. So we've heard that severally. You have heard that yourself. And often when people say this, I just think it's in the cut and trust, because a lot of people that say this, their own language is even just as unpleasing. So I disregard that. But then when Ada came on yesterday, she spoke to that space. And then what particularly made me feel that I should have a chat with you, a chap came on this afternoon, Danny, very pleasant gentleman, sort of like a character. And he said he would not be making an appearance on this platform anymore. He will still be listening, but not come on, because it takes offense to the tonality of how you present your positions. So just really to the tone and texture is what I'm just asking you to just, just edit it a bit and just present it in a way that is more palatable, because of course we all have strong opinions on everything, but then of course we have to consider the people that we're speaking to. Mike.
The thing is, you have to give examples.
Stop upsetting Igbo people, essentially, is what I'm saying. Stop dissing Igbo people.
Well, the one name you mentioned, Daniel, I don't think I heard that one. I missed that's the only one.
Because he came on this afternoon and it was at pains.
Maybe I'll go back and watch it. I came late, so I missed that individual.
No, not this session, but the afternoon session. He came on in the afternoon session. And it was quite labored, it was quite pained that, look, this should not, that is unacceptable the way, I mean, and it's not like some Igbo jingoist and a national, it's not like one of these, it's not one of the Unzobu types, it's a proper real person, not one of these Unzobu men. So
I'll go and watch that one, see who that
just
person
tone
is.
it down.
I'm gonna see who that individual is, but the other ones, I've heard the other ones. But one thing I can say about those ones is they all have one thing in common. They are all Namdekano worshippers. So
no, that is
people
what I'm
that,
saying.
I can't take them seriously.
No, that is what I'm saying. There are certain elements that are just coming from that some Imzobu thing, but people like Ada and then this Danny, you cannot. These are proper people, and if proper people are saying they are being offended, then you have to pay attention.
See, The problem with these people is this: they only know when they are being
Why don't you
offended,
just
but they
take
don't
the
know when other
correction?
people are being offended.
When
you
you
understand
are
what I'm
offended,
saying?
bring it to my attention and I will address it as well. I just want us to all, be one happy family. That is really all I want. So, but
Happy
to
family.
the
These people don't care about anybody, man. They only care about
okay.
themselves. They are very
This is what I was
self-centered
saying.
human beings.
Oh,
No, the thing is this. First
no,
of all,
Mike.
I never came here to start talking about anybody until question is asked and I answer questions. And the thing is, whenever you answer a question, it doesn't favor their
but it's the tone.
IPOB
It's the
agenda.
tone.
They get angry.
Like when you say these people are self-centered now, of course people will be offended by that. Can you not see?
Who gives a shit? Why did you tell them to go and do you listen to IPOB
all right,
platforms?
Mike. Okay, I gave you the chance to be pleasant, but of course, Baba Akure, let's just so we'll leave Mike out for today. Baba Akure, what says you? But Baba Akure is upset as well. Who has upset you, Baba Akure? What's going on here? Is this? There we go.
Baba Akure is muted.
Baba Akure has been given contract to supply Nigeria 6 fighter jets. He has been given contract to supply Nigeria 6 fighter jets.
Baba
Akure has gotten contract from Buhari administration to supply 6 fighter jets.
Yeah.
Come in August.
He's trading crypto as we are talking. Okay, Ego, let's go to you there. Baba Akure is not quite ready for us yet.
Yeah, I'm here now.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, Ego. Sorry, Ego. I think we have Baba Akure now. So, yeah, what says you to the narrative?
Well, I was a little bit following you anyway. To start with, I will start with the issue of bombing in Ebonyi State. Is it Ebonyi State or which state is that?
Yeah, Ebonyi.
Okay. Well, government can say whatever they want to say because they always lie. We cannot trust them. So I will prefer to listen to the man on the street rather than to listen to any politician, because they just want to use that to get the to make sure that people are not panic anyway. That is just to de-escalate the tension that is going on around the community. But I don't see how a police officer will have grenade with them, knowing fully that it is very harmful, and they have to go and they want to go to school, school with that. I don't really believe that anyway. To me, I don't really believe it was police officer. And based on the name you mentioned, that name seems like Fulani anyway.
Yes, so, Adamo. Exactly. Which man is called Adamo, Igbo man, of course.
So anything from Delta go, not Delta, go up to the northern part. That is where you can see people bearing that kind of name. So it's not no Igbo will bearing Adamu.
No, never.
And in Yoruba side, you can hear somebody who's bearing Adamu, but the first name has to be that of Yoruba.
Yeah, Muyiwa Adamu.
Exactly.
Adebayo Adamu, but
exactly.
Not Adamu.
But for Eastern part, I never hear anybody from Eastern part to be bearing Adamu. I never heard that before. So it is just that government will not really come out clean anyway. Even if they know the truth, they will not tell the truth. So let's put that aside. And I want to talk about the issue of Ebonyi loot.
Yes.
So it is not new. There's nothing they are going to do. I hope. Well, let me just put it 50-50. As I said earlier, I don't trust them because remember, and there is nothing much federal government can do about it. Even the federal government is even corrupt. So it is just like who's going to police. So that is just a matter who's going to check the
It's almost certain that they are going to in fact they would have relooted it already. Never mind they are going to.
You get what I want to say? The money is already gone. You know how much money we be hearing since all this while? Oh, They recover 300 billion from $1 billion for Mabasha loot. They this from this.
You know, if we do a total of the monies that they said they've recovered, that is the country's budget for a year. So they've and yes, they are going to borrow China money all the time.
And nothing to show for it. Yet they still have to go to China to go and borrow money and construct railways, rail line to
Niger Republic.
The Republic or the Niger. Be even begging them to build a railroad for them. Meanwhile, the whole Nigeria is not even serviced with railway station. So the issue of Ebonyi money, the mother's money is gone already. So it's nobody's going to check them, or maybe somebody is the boy. Even if the governor of Delta State is not even the boy of so-called Ibori, he will still loot it. Even if they don't loot it completely, he will make sure that he take at least half of the money, and they share it among themselves, and they just then they give contract to somebody on finished contract. The contract they will give to somebody, and that body will not even spend the money on it. So this is what is going on. Our politicians is not. They are not people that we can really trust, unless, if, as I always say, when they tell you good morning, right? Make sure you check your time, because it may be afternoon or night at that time. So when they tell you, okay, where they are going to do this, wait until when you see that, before you can believe them that, okay, they are doing. I used to trust politicians before. When they say something, oh yeah, they will do it. But since I've been studying them up to now.
But what led you to ever trust them? I've never been aware of an instance where, I mean, anywhere in the world, by the way, let's not just say the only politician, funnily enough, that I've ever seen try to keep to his word was Donald Trump. You know, he said he was going to build a wall, and he jolly well attempted. Yeah, you know. So because although the things he says he wants to do is just racist, whatever. At least,
to be honest with you, I am one of those that really supported Buhari in his first.
So do you want to apologize to us then, Isaac?
I didn't campaign for him. I didn't campaign for him. I just support him. I supported him personally. I didn't say people should vote. People should vote for him. If I canvass people to vote for him, that is when I can apologize for people. Was just my decision. That okay, where too much corruption was going on at that time. We need to put end to this. Believing that he is going to do something, but he is even worse, more than the previous administration. So there's no doubt about that. We can see it clearly. So the second time I said no, we cannot go for this. But eventually, what happened? They just mark up all kind of paper, and they believe that he won. But anyway, there's nothing we can do about it. So I sometimes I believe them, but from what I've been seeing so far in the last 6 years, I just said to myself, no. Even particularly in Nigeria, I can still trust some politicians around here. When they say something, at least whatever they say, they will do at least 80% of what they promise. But Nigeria, the reverse is the case. When they tell you they are going to do one thing, just one.
I'm not sure there's one thing that Buhari promised that he has done. He said he was going to end insurgency. It's worse than it's ever been. Corruption is worse than it ever been. He said he was going to restructure. He says he doesn't know the meaning of the word. There's not one single thing that he said that he has done.
Exactly. So that is what is going on. And there is another story that you brought up. Maybe you can refresh me about that.
It was the Iswap replacing Boko Haram in Sambisa forest, and people are saying that we're from frying pan to fire, as Saip put it, from frying pan to fire.
Well, to me, I think that is true, because those guys are they are sophisticated more than Boko Haram. And in as much, remember how many years our military have been fighting Boko Haram, and up to now they cannot defeat them. However, I think there are some politics going on between that. Remember that the day that Shekau was claimed to be dead, because I will put that quote, claimed to be dead.
So you have your reservations. You're not
exactly,
convinced.
exactly. Yeah. Until when we start, until down the road. Anyway, I may really say, okay, well, truly, because this person now, we've heard it so many times that he dead and he resurrects, and he is not Jesus. So and he resurrects.
I think this will be the 4th time or 5th time now that that guy has died.
Fifth time that we hear that he died. So that is why I just have to reserve my comment about that. But if that is true, and the second faction can just go there and just take him down like that, because I read some newspaper today from Vanguard, and they said they still arrest this Iswap arrested some of the commander, not those that they arrested the same day that he bombed himself as they claim, but they arrested some of the commander again. I think today or yesterday now. So you can see, if in as much these people can take them down and arrested all the commanders, and our military have been fighting this war for more than 5 years. 5 years. Or about
2009, yeah.
Exactly, and they cannot even defeat Shekau. So we are in a bigger problem, because it seems that these people they are well organized and they have intelligence more than Shekau. And however, I hear that somebody said they are not going. Where are they going to get money? Well, you will. I'm very sorry to say that we will see more kidnapping and all kind of thing, because that is where they get their money, and they are being sponsored from foreign land. Those who
there was a lot of, because recently they came out to say that a lot of this bureau de change, that they are cycling money via Dubai to the Boko Haram insurgencies. I'm sure you read that story.
Yeah, I read about it, and they arrested about 400 financier. So what did we hear from since then? Because all these people, refresh my memory about that. About 200 to 400 of them are arrested that very time. What do we hear anything about them again?
No,
nothing.
Yeah.
Because 90%, 98% of them are not apart. Because they are Muhammad something, Damu, Shiroma, or whatever they call themselves. So they are all from North. Did you hear anything about them? Nothing. And that is what is going to happen. All we'll be hearing, do they take any action about it? Even look at Magu. Do we hear anything about it? Nothing. So these are
even look at what's that grass cutter that they sacked about 6 years ago?
Exactly.
What is his name? Something Lawan.
Yeah,
the grass cutter. Yeah,
grass maybe from IDP camp or whatever, and millions of dollars gone about that. Do we hear anything about it? Nothing. So this is what is going on. The issue of Iswap, I think Nigeria really need to buckle up, because it is very dangerous, and we should not forget too, because in as much that Boko Haram is being financed by these people as people that were arrested, I strongly believe that there are some people also that are financing this group also. So it is just power change. So they're fighting themselves. I think something was not right. That is why they took Shekau away.
Yes, I too. I find it just too casual the way they took him out. Somebody that we've been chasing since 2009, and then they said part of the team that actually took him out was a 12-year-old boy. It's not complete. There's something missing.
So something is going on that we don't really know. That they in the northern part of Nigeria know to their best of knowledge. So they know what is going on. It is we don't know what is going on, because I don't really believe that they can just take him down like that. Something happened, because these people know these people. They know them. So maybe he did something, and okay, well, they have to take this guy out.
I think there's a recalibration going on within that space, because there's just too much going on. Well, the chief of army staff, the Boko Haram leader, and all of this recalibration. So it looks like there's a recalibration of some form, because it's too close together to be a coincidence.
And do you want me? I wanted to bring something to this forum.
Yeah.
About not quite a month now, before the army general died. Remember, the so-called presidency, GARBA, SHEHU, and my brother from I don't know where he stayed from Yoruba land. What's the name?
He must be from Ondo State. He's an Ondo man. He's one of your people.
I don't know where he's from. What's his name again?
Additional.
Two of them said there are some military that want to take over. So something is not. It is, we don't know, because when I just think about it, or is it true that military really want to take over? Are these people planning and they just want to say, okay?
Would that be a welcome thing if that happens?
You mean the military?
Yes. Would that be a welcome thing if that happens?
I tell you, my brother, it will have been some people will be very, very happy. I can tell, because I was hearing from people, they were saying that even if the military take over, it is even better than this.
But because you know what that will mean? All these things that we have identified, the bicameral system that is just all these people looting money, the lopsidedness of the country, the just completely useless constitution, all of these things that they are just doing, they'll say, oh, we're reviewing it. If the military take over, they cannot be there for more than 2 years, because there's no appetite globally for a military regime. But that in one movement will just then let us address then, because nobody will accept just some written up constitution anymore. That will then, in just that one move, address that constitution, and then it will remove all of these corrupt policy, because they'll have to clear the deck and to say we want just a new flush of people. So all of these dead weights that are just cycling the country as turn by turn, Nigeria Limited as a fund. I'm not quite sure if it will be a terrible thing.
I get what you are saying. You see, if that happens, a lot of people will go. Because they know, you see, the issue is that Buhari know exactly what is going on. That is why he put all the northerners in that position. Because had they been, maybe, because he even said by himself that he didn't trust any other part. So that is why he had to use all those guys. Maybe if another set of people already that they are not from northern part, maybe they would have already changed the whole thing, the whole scenario. That might have happened. They might have taken over from them. But as you said, it may not really last longer. Maybe like 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. But at the same time, I think there will be a lot of prayer from every part. Maybe like from eastern part, from southern part. But you see all these politicians that hold Nigeria ransom. I think some of them will have gone home.
Because that will be the end of any presidential ambition that Tinubu, Atiku, Fayemi, XYZ, all of them, that will be the end of their. That might not necessarily end them, but the new dispensation will be such that there will be no room for them. And they'll be too busy trying to pay back some of the monies that they stole anyway to even have time to. So a complete recalibration and, of course, a new constitution.
That is true. That is true. And one of the funnest part of to support what you are saying. Do you know that these people now, they went to Abuja today. They went to They went to go and meet Buhari to condole with him about the
Chief of Army Staff. Yeah.
Chief of Army Staff. Now, when
it was Akonde and Tinubu, wasn't he? It was Akonde and Tinubu.
Those people you see, if you look at what is going on, remember they had meeting on Sunday, right? Then today now they went to Abuja, just a day in between, right? So
they want to tell Oga that, oh no, we didn't really mean it, or we were just doing it to.
You get my point. It is not because of plane crash they went to Abuja.
No.
And can you see now the reason why AKEREDOLU shunned the meeting now? Because he already perceived what will happen. So that is why I believe that he didn't want to be part of that. Then they had meeting on Sunday. Today he went to Abuja to condole.
It's the spinelessness of the southern politician that is embodied in the personage of somebody like Tinubu, just a slimy character, just to roll in the gutter with whoever the gutter is, so long as he can just nibble at his own. You know, you say you are against open grazing today, and tomorrow you are going to do Rankadede it's unbelievable. The two opposite sides is heads and tails at the same time. That is Tinubu. Is heads, it spins a coin, and wherever that coin lands is heads and is tails, both at the same time. I've never seen anything like it. It's a slimy character.
And with the way they are going on, I am not going to be surprised if Yoruba agitators when they have their rally in Lagos State, they are going to meet setback. There is no doubt about that.
They will come across a lot of security opposition.
Exactly. Yeah. I heard from some guys online the other day that they've already trying to infiltrate them. They've already gave money to some people, like 5,000 to go and print shirts like Oduduwa Nation that want to infiltrate them. So all that is going on, right? So, and this is the plan. So I'm not going to be surprised if they meet some roadblock.
Resistance. Yeah,
exactly. Because
it could get out of hand, we're saying roadblock, it could get out of hand because, Lagos is where they are going to want to just finish this thing. So if they come, there will be a heavy security presence and there will be provocations. And like you said, there might well be that infiltration. And if they can, because this is the same templates they use for NSAS, isn't it? They infiltrated it with hoodlums. And then they turned it into a riotous thing. And then these people became a bunch of criminals. And that was the end of Solomon Grundy. So that template again in play in Lagos State, Baba Kore.
We are very right. And I hope it's not going to end up like what is going on in the eastern part of Nigeria. Because I know these people, they are not making jokes. In every rally they had, there was always police shoot at them, right? But you know how people, because even you can even hear the incantation.
but have you noticed something, Baba Akure? Anytime that Sunday Igboho goes out, he always goes to the Oba or the Bale first. He goes to fortify himself in the traditional way.
The issue is that I can tell you, Sunday Igboho he might be an illiterate person. He may not really the problem I have with him now is that he should just mellow with the way he talk. Like, okay, like these people support me or that people support me. You should just ignore that. If you look at the way the traditional politics being played before now, you will see every single time when somebody is going to any community, the first thing that person has to do is to go to the king or Baale to give them the information. Okay, I'm in your town. I want your support. That is traditional way of doing things. But he followed that anyway. And I think, this king also, they have one or two things.
Because I posted a video earlier today with Sunday Igboho yet again in front of some Oba speaking the language of how they are their throne has been debased and diminished. But really, if for Sunday Igboho to get that victory, he has to have the backing, for me, of Oni of Ife. If he has the backing of Oni, then we'll have Yoruba nation. But if he doesn't have the backing of Oni, then it's a longer struggle, both in terms of the spiritual fortification.
That you are right. I think I don't know what is going on in that part, but I know there was a time there was a issue between him and Oni, and he apologized, which we all listened to on YouTube also. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe they are going to have a special rally in Ife. Maybe we'll be able to go to
that would be interesting. If they have a rally in Ife, and if the Oni entertains him, then that is when I know that we're talking about something.
There's no way we still have to go to Oni of Ife and pay homage to him anyway. So in the issue of Lagos, I know there will be some issue, resistance, and I know for sure these people, they are really determined. I can tell you, because there was a rally. I mean, there was an occasion they had with some politician that was about 3 months ago. In that ceremony, Igboho tell everybody you have to go and fortify yourself. And I think that is what is going on, because in every rally, police always shoot at them. Even the one happened in Akure, police shot at them. They took all the gun from police. Then the commissioner had to call them that, okay, we hear that you seize our policeman gun. Then the commissioner of police had to talk to Igboho, and they had to return the gun back to them. So I think these people, they are not really to fight anybody. They just want to do what they want to do. They don't want to fight anybody. So I think that is what is going on now, because like the way they shot at them, if they want to do something, they will kill some police. But they don't want that to happen, because they don't want any trouble. That is why they are trying to do what they have to do. They just do it the way they want.
All right, Baba Akure, thank you. A good update on what's going on in the Oduduwa movement. Ego, we always keep you till last because we always enjoy having you around. Ego, are you with us? Yeah.
I'm with you guys. Good evening. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Yeah, it's been a wonderful program for the day. It's all going well. The stories are fine. In Ebonyi, I will say let us still at least, let us not judge the issue of Ebonyi right now. Let's still wait for more news before we run into conclusion. Yeah, in Ebonyi's issue is that in our money from Delta State. One thing I want to say about Ibori, we must understand. During the time of Ibori, he's a very outspoken governor. He's one of those governors who challenge Obasanjo head to head all his administration. He was always a fighter, like some of the, like this resource control issue. Ibori was a champion of it during his. There are some things he's a radical governor.
Do you see him as a good guy? You are speaking of him like it's a good guy. Do you see him as a good guy?
I will not attribute him as a good guy. No, I'm not his fan. I'm not happy with him because he stole Delta State money and ran and give the money to British people. And as I speak to you, I want to disown what will be said that Ogara was wanting. All those are all lies. When they will tell you that Ogara has turned to UK, my brother, if you go to Ogara, you will be embarrassed.
National, I don't come for Ogara before.
Where Ibori lives, my brother, if you go there, you will be embarrassed. Don't repeat. Don't come to the public and say this kind of thing. It's a village. It's a village.
Now, the place where national, where Nigeria camp was for over a month. Now you they tell me, Abba, come on, guy.
The place where what you said, what? Come again.
Nigeria camp where camp national at least for a good 1 month. Ogara, we get stadium, we get airport base, we get institution, we get pretty much waiting many states no get. Now you say na village. Come on.
You are a
Give
you are a
it to
funny
that
guy.
man. Give it to that man. Give it to that man.
You are a funny guy. You are a funny guy because Ugara is a place I visit, so it's not what we argue about. Ugara is where I have hostel. Is where I have hostel apartment over 50 blocks.
Oh, so
Ugara is also my village. Let's forget about that. Let's not dive into them more.
So if Ogara don't make sense, why you go get
it is because yes, right,
but Ovie, you visited the best, but Igbo is from there. Igbo is from there now.
The guy just
allow me use my time.
Now because of Ebonyi,
hold on.
If you say Ebonyi no open up that place, he no go build hostel. So give it to him.
When is your time? Let me speak. Allow me talk. Forget about
it. Carry on, Ego.
We are not saying Ibori has failed the people or whatever, that he did not try. But stop telling the people that this village is America or this. All these things are lies. Pure ones. Man. You yourself, if you go there with the level of the man, as somebody who is well, is clever, is well, is well educated, is well. Ibori is everything for him to stay at this time for his village to be in that level. You are telling me that is it? Let's not go that, please. The money that they return for us should kindly go to Okoa and they should use it for development. At least let people see what the money can put in the state. So let me quickly dive down to an issue you raised. Sorry, I don't know if it's part of this meeting.
No, carry on.
You were telling us about a Lebanese man, blah, blah, that is stopped from entering.
That was this afternoon, but yeah, go on. Yeah.
Please. So let me tell you something. Let me open up something little about you, about this country and the Lebanese people. We should be very mindful and be careful. Lebanese should leave Africa, mostly Nigeria alone. See, let me tell you, they've arrested several Lebanese with ammunitions in this country. Some of them are in court. They smuggle weapons into this country. You see all kind of evil, kind of illegal business. Lebanese ran them in Nigeria freely. I'm telling you what, this guy that is scared now.
Just to interrupt you, Ego, there was a time that they seized some weapons passing through Nigerian shores, and they were saying that those weapons were not actually coming to Nigeria, that those weapons were actually passing through Nigeria to go to the Middle East for the Palestinian-Israeli thing. So, and of course, this Lebanese guy, Gilbert something, his name is, he owns a hotel, but he has associations with Hezbollah. And of course, he was, yeah.
Thank you very much. Let me tell you, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. I see no reason Nigeria to be giving Lebanese passport as a Nigerian citizen. In Lebanon, you cannot be given a resident permit. Our children, black children in Lebanon, are treated as slaves. They are locked in the house. If you see the way they treat these Nigerians that they come here to have their passport, you will pity them. They are like the blacks over there are like slaves to them. So these Lebanese people you see, they are bringing into this country tons of hard drugs, tons of different kind of things, all kind of illegality are in their hands. We should watch very well. Not to, you see these arms, these ones that they hold, these few they hold for arms and all the rest. And this guy that the Americans are expelling now, not to enter the US. This guy she's responsible for the bankruptcy of Lebanon, as I tell you, as I'm speaking to you right now. The Lebanese economy is bankrupt. The US is pointing finger on 2-3 people who swindled the entire money out of the central bank. And this guy is part of those people. And he works for this Hezbollah. See, there are some group of people, and it is the northerners that are see, a Lebanese man was arrested as a pedophile. They wanted to beat him to death in Zamfara, one of these
places. Yes. That was yesterday, the day before, wasn't it?
Let me tell you, if you know the atrocities of mostly the Lebanese in this country,
they call them Korah or something.
If they give you true details, and it is the whole of Lebanon was built with Nigerian money. Let me tell you,
of course,
Nigeria. It is Lebanon now that Nigerian thief politicians now divert money to the whole money. The bankrupt, as Lebanon was bankrupt of late, Nigerian money, politicians' money that have gone in that country is uncountable. You people don't know what's going on with our country. Our money is just everywhere, and they do it what they like with it. You see those Lebanese in this country, we should be very, very careful with them. And we must say no to their presence and no to giving them our passport.
You know that guy, but that guy though, you know, he owns the major part of a core Atlantic as well, and a hotel. You know, this is a guy that is bought up the whole of Lagos, etc., and he has associations with Hezbollah.
Just imagine. And I'm telling you now, as I speak to you, Hezbollah is a terrorist group.
Of course, now.
To the United Nations, to the US.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Now, look at his head. Is here trying to infiltrate the government, the head of this country. This is what Nigeria has been subjected to. Common Arab man will even come here and make fool of us. We, the people of this country, listen, we, the people of this country, we must rise up as a people and tell those who want to destroy this country to leave this country if they are foreigners. See, our politicians today that are stealing hell out of our country, it is these same Lebanese people that are their major source of swindling our money out of this country.
You see, the northerner, the average northerner, hold on, Ego. The average northerner, your average coup plotter, is a Kanuri man, is a Fulani man that's come from cattle rearing, and they've put him through the military system, and then it's just gone into the barracks and evolved on the other end. It's an opportunity to take over government. So he doesn't know anything about anything. But these Lebanese people, they are bagmen. So behind every coup plotter, every former head of state that is of a northern extraction, there's always a Lebanese guy that carries the money. And this Gilbert was Abata's guy, to the point that Obasanjo recovered $65 million from this guy. So and this guy was funding the Clintons, especially Hillary's campaign in 2015. And this guy pays heavily into the Clinton Foundation, etc., all off the back of Nigerian money.
Yes, of course. These are the things we are saying. These things has been going on for a very, very long time. There are a lot of things that Nigerians are so blindfolded and dumbfolded. They don't know. Awareness is out of them. See, the Lebanese has crumbled the Nigerian economy. The Lebanese has siphoned the Nigerian money all over Lebanon. If you go to Lebanon today, they are mentioning, you have the names of Lagos street names in Lebanon. They will tell you that the whole money, some people will ask you, why are you coming to Lebanon? The whole money this country came from Nigeria. Lebanese will be telling you there. The Lebanese will tell you, it's not you that will be saying it. So what am I saying? These people, they come here, invade everything, steal our money, no taxes, no nothing. If you go there, you can't get 1% of such privilege from their country. So we are in a big mess. That guy himself as a person, well, this administration, we have nothing to say. We just have nothing, because this administration is not helping anything at all with regard to what we are going through in this country. It's not really helping, it's not really doing us any favor. You understand? So all we need to do is to keep on with pressing and pushing, like we all said. If there is a good if there is a good constitution that is equality for all, you will see that things will begin to divert and change differently, because you see people doing things, you know, in the name of, you know, the right way. So we are moving towards that direction. It has gotten to a time when governors will be afraid, or local government will be afraid to eat state money or whatever, because we're all seeing where that plunged the country into 120 million below the level of poverty. What do you think will happen if they all spring into the streets? Can you stop them? You can't. So
we're getting to that point.
Governors must begin to understand that they must create jobs, that they must develop their states, that they must create what do you call it?
Ego, they understand this, but do they care is the question, and they don't is the answer.
No, don't think so. They are beginning. I think we are moving to the stage where they will begin to care because the poverty rate now is alarming and it's even touching them. So don't think it that way. It's touching them. Yes. So they are also feeling it. It's not only me, it's not only you. You understand? So let's keep watching how the trend is moving. I am believing that, listen, there are going to be a rapid change. I don't believe in one night. I don't believe in
no, I believe that something is going to happen too, but yes. What it is, we don't know. All right, Ego, just for reasons of time, so we reconvene again tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless. Ovie, your last words.
You know, to just round up where Ogo stopped. Ogo said he invested in the Ogala. That's one reason he should be grateful to Ibori. If Ibori
leave it alone. Now that he's not here, you are talking behind his back.
No. I'm just using that as an example. If Ibori did not open up Ogara, Ibori opened up that in village, tie roads, bring stadium come. They have polytechnic, they have naval base. What does they get the youth from a man from turning a remote village?
You know, just to interrupt you, V. I'm starting to suspect that this Mike is Adeyinka grandson in disguise. You know, because they have seen his comments and he's not even relenting, even though I've given him time to go and cool off. But you carry on.
Mike is obsessed with Kanu. That's what
it is the thing. Carry on.
And then why would they blame Lebanon, for God's sake? What did Lebanon do now?
Then they top our money be the thing.
How?
We will recover 65 million from this one man alone.
Allow them come. That's what I keep saying. Now this elite policies where they enact now in favor the Lebanons. Come they do and undo. The last speaker said if you go there, you know go forget the privilege where them they get it. Yes, because the Lord make it like that. So until we begin to understand, say, come, all this problem are actually people who will put our system into their hand, and then they do it. Mostly even the business people too, they are not complaining. Some of the business tycoons, the billionaires, those who actually put their money into the economy, they are not complaining about these things because directly now them the thing they favor. Now just the remnants where they fall from their table, now what they see from the Lebanon sand. So until we begin to see now those people were fond of accusing the wrong people. The same thing with the accused Buhari. Buhari has less than 2 years ago.
Okay, that thing behind you. Hold on, that thing behind you, is it green screen or is it what is it? Is it a green screen that you're using?
No, it's actually a real picture of it's like a lion.
Okay, and do you stream somewhere? I get the impression that you stream somewhere. Do you stream? Because you look like because of your setup. You are set up like a streamer.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do stream.
Where do you stream? Are you a gamer?
No. I do, but I do the track and field, Nigerian track and field. I try. Well, I'm just getting started anyway. So
where can we come and see what you do? Where can we?
Anytime I'm going on live, I'll send you a link. I do go
on brilliant.
YouTube and Facebook. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. Well done, Ovie. Always
about what we are talking about yesterday. I will reach out to you. They will talk about it too. So you know how to
synergize. Yes, it's always good. So I can that are Brazilian apartments that I'm after, and that are all those things.
Let's about to do, but even though we will go get the money from them.
Don't worry. Even if we go and maybe we should go and take to politics. The quickest route to money is always Nigerian politics. Anyway, maybe we missed a bit there by just being too sanctimonious for the space. So thank you, Ovie. Always a pleasure. Alexander was talking about you just the last time. He was saying that he's found out a little bit about you and he was suitably impressed because he's been hearing me talk about your your athletic achievements, and then he decided to look you up, and he was saying that, oh, he never knew that you were that impressive, but one of these days you will just come and boast about yourself and impress us all. So thank you, VA. Let me just bring in voices that are wanting to sweep up. So Evolution, your final words, and Saip, your final words, and I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to bring my con. Evolution, just parting words.
Yeah, the parting words. I wish to speak on the previous issue about people attacking the police in the southeast and what it would now lead to. The guy that you were talking to, I think his name is One Man.
No, his name is Rowley. He was a bit of a naughty boy, so he decided to go and change his name. But of course, we all knew his voice. But carry on.
Exactly. I mean, the guy's view represents the level of ignorance we have amongst the followers of Nnamdi Kanu.
But how widespread is that level? Because that ignorance, I see it a lot too, especially doing these things that I do. But then I'm wondering, because you see that guy's voice, as much as you are identifying it as ignorant, and I am not disagreeing with that assessment, that is essentially the voice that I hear from my pub. It's just that low-level ignorance.
Do you know why it is like that? It's because, you will have extremists in any movement and organizations. We have other calmer voices like Tony Nnadi that is busy making inroads, negotiating with the lower.
But why is Tony Nnadi's? Why is his voice not getting prominence? Because I have heard his voice and it's eminently articulate, and there's very little you can, because he speaks to facts and figures and laws, and it doesn't really. It's not a screamer and a shouter.
Exactly. It is just unfortunate that over the years, our leaders has failed to invest, and we now have a lot of unemployed, hungry, angry youths. The narrative being marshaled out by Nnamdi Kanu is their way out. So what you see them doing, they are attacking the police and they are looting, they are stealing, they are committing all sorts of crimes. They are putting the populace that they are supposedly fighting for into misery. There are areas in the southeast where banks no longer operate. People don't have money to buy food because the banks are not working, the ATMs are not working, thanks to lack of police presence.
But that is what I was trying to discuss with that guy. That was what I was trying to get out of him, but it wasn't
these guys
getting it.
They don't reason. I don't understand what is so difficult in it. We can still get our El Dorado in a negotiated, non-violent way.
And that is not to say that I back the Nigerian police who are completely useless, but
exactly. I mean,
when you chase the whole police out of a space,
of the police, there is you can't. We are not. This is not Somalia. You can't. You are turning our place into a jungle, and it is annoying. It is painful. It is painful. What are we going to gain with this Nzobu mentality? The might of the Nigerian military is going to crush any separatist group.
But as you said, somebody like Tony Nnadi, certainly not an Nzobu man. So exactly. How can it be made possible that that is the voice that has preeminence, or is the chant that we hear from Radio Biafra? Is it too? Does it speak too much to the narrative of the man on the street for them to be able to listen to any other sounding or reasoning?
Why it is like that is this. Nnamdi Kanu is heavily funded. He has a lot of money. If you've observed, over the past couple of months, he has been toning down his rhetorics and narrative. He's now trying to extend the hand to Sunday Igboho. They have made a pact. The Igbos will not attack Yoruba, and Yoruba.
But would you not think that somebody like
evolving.
Nnamdi Kanu will feel that Sunday Igboho is beneath him? You know that he has the arrogance of elitism. He's a prince. Is he not a prince, Nnamdi Kanu?
No, wait, hold on. Nnamdi Kanu does not belittle or see the Yorubas any less than he sees his fellow Igbo.
No, I'm talking about Sunday Igboho in particular.
No, Sunday, he has a lot of respect for him.
Okay,
I have listened to him talk about Sunday Igboho.
Okay.
He has a lot of respect for him because he's now beginning to understand that you must build bridges, that you cannot go it alone, which is what people were telling him from the first day. You must engage politically. It is a political process. You can't use force. You don't have the infrastructure to wage a war. Where is your blood bank? The amount of blood bank that you even need to sustain a war. Where is your food reserves? Where is your grains? War is not what you fight with mouth. People are good. So why put your people through all that if there is a more peaceful means of engagement? The southern governors are speaking with one voice. Engage them at this point. Hold them accountable. Push them. Give deadlines. Engage. But to be insulting everybody, like I said, he has toned it down seriously. He's no longer, even the middle belt, he has extended the hand of friendship to the middle belt in his own way. In his own ways. Some other person may think it is not, but it is a radical departure from,
because a lot of us are pinning a lot of hope on the success of the Biafra narrative, because if they succeed in getting Biafra, then there is no way that Nigeria can be kept together. So it's just a natural split, because if they carve out Biafra, then the Yoruba people are quickly out after that. So a lot of people want that to succeed, but just we're just a bit confused as is the way here.
At the end of the day, I was saying this yesterday. You come to a negotiating table and you must accept and give up some things. The split that we keep on talking about, I engaged the forum today and I pointed out, look at the activities of the Fulani terrorists. They've been killing people because of cattle. For 6 years, all we've been talking about is cattle. Why are we still buying cattle in the south from these same Fulanis?
Yes, that is a question.
Exactly. Hold on.
You know that the whole of the economy for that cattle, the whole of the economy for that cattle, all the way from Niger Republic, Chad, the North, etc.
Exactly.
The whole money for it, the profit of it, is in the southern region of Nigeria, because Nigeria is the wealthiest country. The southerners are the party people, and they don't really eat that sort of meat in their region. So all of this cattle is for us, and it's unbelievable.
So that is what I am saying. It is not just cattle. We are equally dependent on the north on a lot of food. The food that we eat. You think so? When
tomatoes and peppers,
many things. When they implemented the food embargo to the southwest, look at what happened. Prices of things went up astronomically. They started selling one goat for 100,000. That is to tell you that we don't have alternatives in the south. So no matter how useless we feel they are, we still must coexist. Are you no longer going to trade? So why not go back to a restructured Nigeria where we will talk, each region will be doing their own thing. The United Kingdom is one country, but they present 4 countries in the World Cup. We can achieve that with our 1963 constitution, and that is where we should all be headed. The EU is coming together because they have seen that you must come together to get better deals. And we are talking about splitting. We can have 4 nations in one Nigeria.
Yes, I think that is what they are talking about with restructuring. So Evolution, thank you, just for reasons of time, but please come again so we can hear some more from you. So Saip, we see you.
Yeah.
Just quickly
like
round up.
Evolution said, I see some point in it. It's actually speaking because a lot of things that is being done in like the food stuff is being handled as in what we eat in this east is being gotten from the north. A lot of things, onions, pepper, all those things. So the east don't really plant, the south don't really plant like that. Maybe except for some few places, maybe Delta or Edo, you understand? Because I'm kind of in the agri space and stuff like that. So it's kind of something that we need to work together in such a way. We need to negotiate on how we can approach this breakup if it's going to happen. Because that's just the best thing. Because the violence part is what me personally I don't want us to subscribe to, because people don't understand when life is being lost. A lot of people say let's break up, war and all that. It's not easy. If war happens, I don't think even Nnamdi Kanu has not really thought about this thing well. Like, how are they going to handle that food part? How are they going to handle the machineries and all this other stuff? Who is even backing you? Do you even have a foreign alliance to back you on this stuff you're going to? So he has to look at it.
And the other thing the other thing he has to consider is if he puts a lot of weaponry in the arms of young Igbo people, then once he gets his way, how does he control that? Or how does he even control these people that he's weaponizing? Because, of course, we've seen that with the Boko Haram when they are now running amok once they get the guns.
Exactly. And a lot of things people don't understand. Breaking up a country requires a lot. You have to create a new central bank, create a new currency. You have to rebuild. It takes time. And in the space of building, there will be definitely rising of, and there will be anarchy and all these things going on. And how do you control it? How do you sort these things out? I personally think Nigeria will break up, but there's a foreign backing towards us breaking up, because once we break up and split, in the process of us trying to find our feet, conflict will come in, and as this conflict comes in, resources will be taken out, just like what's happening in Libya and in Afghanistan. These resources will leave, they'll just be cycling all these things. So we need to really look at it. If we want to break up, let us break up in a way through a referendum like Sudan. That is how I see. We should not go into fight, because a lot of life will be lost and all that. It's just a sad, it's just something that is we need to find a way how we can make this thing work.
All right. Thank you, Saip. Good to hear from you. God bless. Sleep well. So that has been the session. It's been a funny one. I wasn't even feeling the energy of it, but I will put it together anyway. All matters covered, of course. The going on in Ebonyi State, Iswap replacing Boko Haram, so no real change. And the Edo people, the Delta people, thinking that they've gotten their money back because some MALAMI in Abuja is telling them that they are sending a check. So Boju, so I'll leave it here. Carry the conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.